Hello, Internet, and welcome to Drunken Dragons, where we play D&D and the stakes have never been drunker. As always, I know I did it. I did it. I've just stopped acknowledging it now because it's so common. I'm just so good at my job. You know? I'm so good at this thing. But yeah, we have our house cleaning that we always do to talk about stuff where I say words to you.
You did so well on this start.
Yeah, then you threw me off by saying something. I had a rhythm going, and then you were like, you did a thing, and now I'm thrown off.
I didn't say anything.
I know, but
I know.
Don't compliment the DM.
Yeah.
Especially Corey. Don't compliment Corey. She doesn't know what to do with compliments.
No, I don't. I freak out, and then this is what you get. So,
You're
yeah,
precious sorry, continue.
That's just a straight up lie. Because no one is precious. We all are meaningless in the grand scheme of the world. It's fine.
I agree.
Everything's fine for me right now.
Sad.
As always, this is a weird segue, but thank you to Mr. Producer Neil P. voiceover in the chat for being amazing and doing all of our art and always being there. And we love you dearly. And you should show him some love too and check him out on his Twitch. You can follow him and see his streams, and he does art.
And he's going to get me brownies tonight. He wasn't told yet, but he's going to find out now.
And he's now finding out that he will be purchasing Steven brownies before the end of this stream. Because brownies got vaguely mentioned, and now Steven has a craving.
It was a rough day. Ooh, brownie with frosting on it.
Yes.
Okay, brownies specifically with frosting on it from Publix. This is the order.
A lot of sugar.
That is a lot of sugar. More than I can
That's not a problem.
None for me, though. Thank you. I appreciate it, though. But
I'll send them your way. You live here in Florida.
I'm probably less than 10 minutes, 20 minutes from you. But I'm just other side of... I mean, probably. I'm just other side of Winter Haven.
Oh, no. They're over closer to Orlando.
Okay.
You're like 10, 20 minutes away from me. You're like 45 minutes away from Steven.
We drive pretty fast.
I believe that. The other thing, which also reminds me to do the thing I need to do, which is turn it on, is thank you to Sirenscape for the music I just turned on. Hey,
Turn it
I did
on.
a thing. Yeah, they've got a player that now plays in your web browser instead of having to download an application, which always disconnected and was really janky. So you don't have to do that anymore. The web browser version works beautifully. And for your friends that are technology illiterate, it's even better because they don't have to figure out how to download stuff and open it and like slave their account and stuff like that, which was complicated. Great. I think that's all. Is it? Steven's looking at me with a judgmental smile.
I always do that, though.
I mean, that's not wrong. It's making me very uncomfortable. Oh, Sunday. That's what I forgot. Sunday. We are back to solo Sundays with me playing Spiritfarer. That's the game I'm playing.
Secretly, I was thinking, I'm like, watch you call out and be like, it's me again. I'm like, nope, it's your turn.
You know, that's a mistake that I would hold you to, though. I'd be like, oh no, sorry, I said it. Oops. No, it's
canon now.
It's canon now. I accidentally said it on stream. It's just how it goes.
And then how come you didn't do that last time when you said it was you that was going to play?
That's what I said. This one would be one that I would hold you to because it doesn't serve me.
It's only if it serves you do we hold
Correct. Accurate. Yes.
We call that GM privilege.
Yeah. Welcome to the world. It is mine. I control it, or you die. It's fine.
That escalates so quickly.
Yes, it does.
Lilith is just like, bring it.
0 to death. But that is officially all of the things. I stopped doing my sticky notes, and that's probably a bad idea, but that required me a little bit of time. They're computer sticky notes, not your weird chaos desk sticky notes, Steven. Steven's desk
is in my office.
Oh, it's chaos.
They bought me the big sticky notes that have like all the little lines on them, kind of like a mini legal
Yeah,
pad.
I have those too.
I have like on like next to my computer, there's a row of 9 of them kind of stacked together, and then I have a legal pad that's not sticky that now has things written over it that sit on top of them. If I don't see the notes, they don't exist. Digital notes don't work.
Yeah. I'm
They have
the
to
same
I
way.
need the
physically be
different
there.
colored sticky notes, and I have them on my
plan on
computer
it,
at
yeah,
work, just
it's-
on the sides.
I haven't bought multicolored ones. They only buy the yellow ones at work.
Corey's dying inside.
I
Oh,
am.
yeah.
I am.
I
I
have so
am.
many sticky notes in different colors, and also different colored index cards for
Yes.
reminders as
Today's
well.
show is brought to you by Sticky Notes.
Sticky notes. They give Corey heart palpitations if they're not used in a very organized, precise manner. I love sticky notes and I love office supplies, but I have a very OCD way of using them. My life in general is a disorganized mess, but whenever I need to be organized for a work purpose, it is very organized. So, like, stage management and stuff like that, and DMing, very organized. My life, my kitchen, if you've seen my living room, cluster.
It's Mad Max rules.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Basically.
I feel like that's balance. I mean, you can't have it just one way all the time, right?
Yeah, otherwise you're a fucking psycho.
Yeah, I mean, digitally, I am perfectly organized and spotless. Like, my desktops are nice. My folders are, like, done by dates and
Ooh.
archived. Like, it's just the
Desktops.
physical stuff
That's
that
the
I don't
balance.
like. I want to see somebody's desktop and it has all little icons all over it. I want to take away their computer.
Mm-mm.
Oh my
They
god!
don't-
And if
they
they're
don't
not
get
in a
technology.
grid,
I don't
They
like
have
to
that
be in a
people
grid.
that have folders on
They
them
can,
at all.
yeah, they have to be organized in some fashion. Like, Tally will use my computer and I'll have like random things. I'm like, no, you don't need these there. These don't belong on the desktop. These are files. Put them in the file thing. It's like, well, it's just easy to save. And it's like, no, it's not about easy. It's about right.
Agreed.
And only in this case. The rest of my life, meh.
I'm
But
going to take that and use that at work. It's not about easy. It's about right.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
good.
that's JFK who said that, right?
maybe, I don't know.
It is now. Canon. We said it on stream. That's how it works. I established that. So speaking of saying it on stream, last time you all made some questionable life choices and said it on stream. As you left the city proper to go out to meet with the merchant Drayshaw, who Lilith wanted to make a trade deal agreement, sign a contract with, and got her contract. And in doing so, you all found out that the reasoning for all of this and why Lilith was so obsessed with it is Lilith's family is a bunch of vampires who are making wine out of people and shipping it all over. And that's what they're doing here in Bazazan. And it's pretty much already done at this point. And they're going to be
doomed.
here in about a week and a half. A whole coven of vampires to just check how their business is going.
I'm disappointed
Great.
to hear about the poop wine.
Yeah, they're going to be real upset about the poop wine. That's
Wow.
definitely their main concern.
All of their wine is just made with bodily excretions.
There you go. Yeah.
Ew.
That's why the wine is called Exquisite Excretions. That's the
Gross.
brand name.
It was very high grade poop that was in the other wine.
Yeah.
Not just
Yeah.
run-of-the-mill poop, exquisite poop.
It's like
Oh, that
that.
coffee that they.
Yeah, I was just about
is
to
it
say the
lemur?
cat
Oh,
poop
no.
Not
coffee.
lemur, but it's like that. So yeah, there's a species of animal out there. It eats a what?
It's a cat. It's a
It
kind
is
of
a
wild cat.
Okay,
Mhm.
it eats coffee beans and then it digests it. It doesn't process it all the way through, and they take after it passes it and they make coffee out of that.
It's
Mhm.
like
It's
some
I'd like to
supposed to be
try
like
some
insane.
someday,
the
but
best
it's
coffee.
crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like over $100 a pound
Poop
or
coffee.
some amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would try it.
really like
I tried poop
coffee,
I heard
but
it's really shitty coffee.
I hate myself for laughing at that.
This is disappointment.
I'm now really tempted in buying some for us so that we can try it on stream.
Good. That's
Oh,
good. You can spend your money elsewhere. But yeah, so
We need
you
to
found all of
taste the
that out.
world.
While that was happening and that these things were being learnt, you all also had Nevi being very grossly hit on and having a weird interaction with what felt like a claw whenever it was the back of someone's hand. You also had a whole bunch of kobolds who were slaves to this Preshow and began the kobold revolution by giving them enough gold to sustain themselves on, at least for quite a while, and putting into motion their escape in a big cloud of fog. Needing to make your own escape, you didn't get to really stick around to see if that was fruitful for them, but you had at least noticed that it had begun to set the wheels turning. Less of them were around, and it seemed like they were putting into motion whatever plan they had already decided upon prior, having noticed that they had their own little like coffer where they were collecting money, like a little cute kobold piggy bank. Sadly collecting coppers. So, with all of that done, you quickly gather your things and get ready to go with Prolex and Io's crew to an entirely new continent, to Ankarel, where Prolex says that his group, the Allegiance of Allsight, as well as the Cobalt Soul, who Question has told you all, wants to also meet with you, both interested in the jewel that you have found and what is going on with this entire situation. As you awake and Prolix gathers your things, and you all kind of join hands as Prolix brings out a large tablet that he begins reading from, and everything flashes in front of you. The chilly air and gloomy clouds of Bazazan are replaced by a dry heat and a brilliant blue sky visible through the arch window of a magnificent building with walls of white arched marble. Beneath your feet, you all see a teleportation circle, from which the glowing magic is still slowly subsiding. Now, welcome to Ankarel, known to most as the Jewel of Hope. Currently, this is the kind of scholars district, I guess you could call it. It's where we have our two major universities, as well as some of the libraries and other studies. It's called the Sigil District. If you just come with me, we can go ahead to the main area where you can meet with my superior, if you do not mind, if you feel comfortable meeting with my manager, I suppose you could say, who has set me forth on this mission.
I mean, of course, I don't mind at all. But before we dive into that, because I'm afraid that we'll get just way too busy to do something else, I have a small, teeny-weeny incy favor to ask of you, Pronex. You know how you were able to identify what those glasses were able to do for me? I came across another item that I just would appreciate if you could just take a quick glance at for me.
Well, takes a bit of doing, if you recall. I had to get out some books, and we do have an actual area for going and having anything kind of new identified that you might want to look at. And he kind of motions to a more squat building compared to the ones around it, but it is flanked by two large statues of green glass shaped like giant ibises. Right there is the Emerald Ibis Relic Hall. Once we've finished with meeting with my superiors, we can you can go ahead and get whatever you would like identified done there. But if you do have business in the city, please do not let me keep you, and we can meet up at a later time.
Look into the rest. What do you think? Should we explore a little bit, or should we go ahead and meet with Prolex's superiors first?
I'm happy going wherever. If this is a city full of libraries and books, then I'm very happy here.
I too enjoy words on paper.
He wants us to go see his boss as like a favor, right? He did teleport us here, which was probably like expensive and magical resources, right? So I'm okay with going and doing this favor first, but whatever.
I mean, I am perfectly fine going there first too. I think you guys have learned your lesson with not trusting him from the very beginning about the bitch.
Which one of them? We've run into several.
Aloysia?
Oh.
Okay, so out of the party. Okay.
The one that I'm going to personally stake to the ground and burn her to ashes.
Sorry, what do you want to do to her? Find her and kill her right now, or?
Well, not right now, but as soon as I come across her, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, what makes you think she's gonna be here?
Because her cult is in Ank'Ral as well.
Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah, that tracks. Huh? Yeah. All right. Whatever. I'll follow you guys.
Yes. Did the other
again,
party
I think we
teleport with
should
us?
make. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Io and her crew is with you, as well as Question.
Okay.
And then looking towards Question, and then after we meet up with his individuals, I guess speak to your connections as well.
Oh yeah. So first off, thanks Prolex for all of the help in getting me back here, because I totally lost my teleportation tablet. But yeah, about that. So like, I've told them about you coming here, but I need to kind of speak to Io beforehand about exactly like what they want to do with you being here. So here, and she starts like rummaging through a bag on like one side of her belt. She's like, no, not that. And then she starts rummaging through another one, and then she produces a pair of stones, and she holds out one of them. She's like, whenever we get this sorted out or whatever is happening, I'm just gonna give you a little ring-a-ding-ding on this, and then we can, get together and meet.
Lilith will take the stone. How quaint. A speaking stone. Okay.
It's a Rocky Talkie.
Ah.
That's a good one. I like that one. Yeah.
Good.
That's great. Yeah. Oh, you could probably also use this, and she starts rummaging through her bags once again, before she produces a rolled up big piece of parchment, and she kind of like holds it out for whoever wants. It's a map of the city, so like, you know where you're going, because that's probably going to be helpful, right? Yeah.
And he'll grab it.
I was about to say, I think you would be the best one to hold on to that.
It's not much he does well, but he does have decent survival.
Dr. Ray
I can't be bothered
rummages.
to read maps.
Dr. Ray rummages through her satchel and takes out a baseball cap and puts it on, and it says, "I went to the headquarters of the Cobalt Soul, and all I got was the stupid baseball cap." And she puts it on, and she's like, "Will this help me get in later?"
I mean, like, you can get in whatever anyways, because you're kind of part of, like, the team. Go team. But sure, yeah, it's a cool accessory. I like it.
I thought so too. Nobody else at the Cobalt Soul thought this was funny. I didn't get it anywhere. I made it myself. Okay, anyway, she like puts it back in her bag.
They get pretty stuffy sometimes, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially because I made it blue and they just didn't seem to appreciate that. Okay, anyway. Wherever, I will follow you.
All right, well, bye. I'll see you later. And
Bye.
she goes trotting off of the like platform and does not take the stair side of it. She just like stumbles off of the edge of this raised platform surrounded in arches, and she's like, "I'm okay."
Oh,
And keeps going.
precious angel.
So
Ayo,
Lilith,
what are y'all
where?
gonna do?
Oh. Yes.
What is
I have
AO going to do?
so
What is-
many voices happening. Prolex, darling, shall we meet with your friends?
Yes, if that's what you would prefer to do first. Ao and her crew is like, I think we're gonna go get some lodging, like a proper place to stay. And you were talking about that Aloysia chick. And
Would
we
you
still
like-
kind of got a bit of a bone to pick with her. But I was thinking, we were talking about it last night. So, like, since we thought she was being good and then she was double crossing or whatever, we thought we could totally do a double cross on her and be like, oh yeah, after all of that happened, they were total dickheads, and so we came to you because we want to fuck them over and make her think we're on her side and get some information on what's happening with her and her red people cult thing, and then in the end, fuck her over. I think it's a good plan.
do love how you think. Find out as
Yeah.
much information as you can and how their organization works, and I think I can add to that. Not only fuck her over, but fuck over her cult.
Yeah.
Do you have a suspicion she might see right through that? But definitely give it a try. Don't put yourself, well, you're putting yourself in danger. Don't stay in danger too long though. If she sees through it, just like get out of there.
Yeah.
Or beat her up, whatever. Basically, I'm
If
I'm
anything,
hesitant
just-
to believe this will work, but I believe in you either way.
Don't kill her without me around.
Yeah.
Can't promise anything, but I will certainly try.
Will 5 gold
but, you know,
help you
shit
promise
happens.
that?
What?
Will 5 gold help you promise?
I can't promise that, because if she tries to kill us, definitely gonna kill her first. Like, just as a rule of thumb, that's
Yeah.
how this goes.
But I've learned from my sisters, there's more fun than just killing somebody. Especially when someone like
That
her.
sounds creepy as fuck, little girl. But we're gonna go do our thing. You guys do yours. We'll, like, meet up sometime. I will find someone to send you guys a note or something once we know where we're staying, where our digs will be while we're here. Peace.
As
And
soon
they
as I
go
walk
ahead.
away, I'm going to look towards Kenny and be like, your girlfriends. If they
You
kill
say
her,
friends with an S?
girlfriends. Were you talking
Yeah.
to several of them? I think at one point you had like 3 separate dates set up.
I think 2 of the dates were with people who weren't part of this party, though. It was just the weird arm wrestling thing where Kanid hit on every strong woman who he
It's
beat.
true.
Although Ao was one of them, to be fair.
Also true.
And now
I
you
ship
do
it.
have such nice hair. I bet they all like you.
Are we pimping out Kaneen now? Hold on.
I can
This,
do that if you
this
wish.
party took a weird turn recently.
I am.
Yeah, Lilith is very
I'm
good at
opening a
this.
new business.
Oh man. All
I shall
right.
call you my flowers.
So Prolix is like,
Gosh.
well, if you come with me, we can go ahead to the main hall where we can find my superiors at the Crystal Chateau.
Sounds very fancy.
Yeah, let's roll.
So he begins to kind of show you around the Sigil district. He points to where you guys first came in at. It's like, this is the teleportation platform. There's two of them on opposite flanks for the scholars and students to use, as well as those who have permissions to key to this particular teleportation circle. They're quite handy. The very large structure with the dome top, the smoky quartz and the white marble. That is the Crystal Chateau, the main section of the university. And then just beyond that is where we will be going. I've got to find the name of it because there's so many names. Give me one hot second. Yes, just behind that is the Terrace Schoolhouse, which is the smaller section. It's the less prestigious of the two universities that we run, but that is where we'll be meeting up with my superior, Alacritos. And then I already...
Lactose?
What was that, dear? I'm
Lactose?
sorry,
What was
I'm
his name?
old. Alacritos?
Alacritos.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's like milk.
I hate everyone so
Look,
much.
low
What
intelligence
if
character.
we're-
I'm just playing to my strengths here.
What if we're lactose intolerant?
Well, then I guess you'll just have to find something else to do with your time. Goodbye.
We'll play slow time, craziest turn.
And he points back over to the big statues of the giant ibises. And as I said earlier, over there is the Emerald Ibis Relic Hall. That's where you can get your newfangled thing identified. And right next to that is a favorite of the students and the teachers here, which is the Frog and Kebab. Or as some of them say from the other continent, the frog and kebab. But they do enjoy a good drink there at that tavern. It gets quite rowdy at night. Just beyond that is the Scrolls alcove. Yes, it was. Thank you, Alex. It was a play on a Minnesotan joke, yes.
Just checking.
Now listen.
You're very welcome for that.
Fracking kebab in a bag to go.
Yeah. It
I
makes it
still
all
don't think
right.
I'm saying bag wrong, but
But he's like, and over there is the Scrolls alcove. The building is mostly apartments for professors and other dignitaries and special guests of the university. And then just beyond that is one of the many dozens of libraries here in the Sigil district, but that particular one is excellent for its very extensive legal library. It's called the Lawbearers Librums. And then the large tree you see right next to it is called the Boughs of the Wild Mother, and it's a popular studying, gathering, talking, sharing ideas. Those students that like to talk incessantly, sometimes question as they're talking about theorems and this, that, and the other during the day, and then sometimes in the evening, although they do say a ghost lurks there at night, so students tend to steer clear.
Sounds like
But,
a place you would enjoy, Dr. Nell Reyes.
Yes. Knowledge is great. Ghosts, take them or leave them.
Take them.
Yes, I'll take them. I'll take a ghost. Hey, if a ghost joins our party, that
I just
really.
wanted to fight one.
Oh, I mean, you
I just
could.
haven't fought a ghost yet.
I don't think you can punch a ghost, but you can make it realize its mortality, and that
Not
might
with
make
that
it
attitude.
disappear. Okay, you know what? I support you. Punch a ghost.
Me and the new hammer can probably punch a ghost.
That's true. You
And
haven't
he
tried
already
it with
wants
the
to
new
fight
hammer.
the moon.
The moon and I will fight. The bad moon, though, not the good moon.
Why is it again you wanted to fight the moon?
The red moon, which is Ruidus, he has written down, cursed us
Yes.
for a day, and he threatened the moon. And I want to point out that we have not been cursed by Ruidus since that day. So,
Not wrong.
you know, maybe there's something to it. That's all I'm saying. Maybe we don't dump on what we don't understand.
You know, there you go.
Deep
Deep
know what,
thoughts from
buddy?
Kanine.
If you want to fight the moon, I'm right there with you.
As
It's
you would be,
condescending.
of course. Yeah.
Definitely Kanine's ride or die friend, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, more likely die, but,
Yeah,
you
I was
know,
about to say emphasis on the die part.
Yeah, I
Parfait
mean,
moon.
die in glory. You know, we just gotta as long as we kill something really big before, we're set.
Like the moon.
Like the
Yeah.
moon, we just gotta go down in those history books.
And if we bring
The books you always read, we're gonna get in the books for killing something cool, like the moon.
Yeah.
But the
And
bad
even if-
moon, we don't want to be in the books for killing the good moon.
Yeah.
Because you
That
said we
one-
need a moon, so
As they're just going
Hides.
back and forth, I'm looking over at Nevi. I was like, do they think the moon is alive?
dead things
I mean-
can't curse
is
you.
scared.
She just likes the biscuit very slowly.
Can you prove that the moon isn't alive? QED. Quad erat demonstratum.
Yes,
That's a
Thank you for
language from another
explaining.
plane.
it's an ancient text that nobody here knows.
I think I've heard of that language. It's Dent though with that plane as well.
Yes, it's a stupid language. It's too many declensions. Don't worry about it.
But eventually Prolix leads you all to a structure the size of about a small house. The bottom half of it is the same brick that you've seen making up many of the older buildings in the neighborhood. But about halfway up the outside, the walls turn into very delicate, fine stonework, as if someone had built a new floor on top of an older foundation. And you can see glittering spires of iron and crystal adorn its very steep sloping roof. And silver lettering across the door reads, Headmaster Alacritos. Oh, well, here we are. Is there anything that you should make me aware of before we go in? Anything else that you want to share? I just don't want to go in blind in front of the headmaster.
Like what?
I don't know.
Oh, I got this. Let me show you. He's gonna pull out the drinking horn he stole at the party. Like, I did come across this recently.
Oh, that's clever looking. Great.
Oh, and then she's gonna pull the pearl necklace as well and be like,
I
No,
mean,
nothing.
it
Okay,
seems
okay.
like a match set.
he's like, oh, also he's gonna pull out the amulet of the drunkard and kind of put it on and be like, I got this. So
Dr. Ray's gonna like
Excellent jewelry.
tap on Kanine's shoulder and be like, I think he meant like no surprises about like our personalities or pasts or misdeeds, not just like cool stuff
Ooh.
we want to show off.
he's gonna look at you real seriously for a second. He's like all the past misdeeds, because this is probably gonna take a bit. Like, there was a stint with the revelry, then there was just a whole lot of independent stuff. I mean,
I don't
around.
think that I actually want to know any of this. We're just going to go in, and he knocks on the door, and you
okay.
hear
Gotcha.
you hear from the other side. Come in. and he opens the door into a very finely appointed room with a very large leather-back chair. And seated in the leather-back chair is a rather small, though very well-dressed and a little bit scraggly looking in the hair and face goblin, whose voice did not match what you're seeing on the other side of this door. And Prolix kind of gives like a small bow and nod of his head as he enters. Headmaster Alacritus, I have come back from Bazazan safely for the most part. There was a few mishaps with that Aloysia and her consortium of the Vermilion Dream. They got into some trouble, but this group of adventurers managed to help with all of that, and they found some very interesting artifacts that I told you about. The necklace, if you will, dear.
He's gonna start take off the amulet of the drunkard.
No, no, not that one.
Oh.
The
He's gonna lean over to Nebula.
Dr. Nell Reyes, if you
Or
could.
like, what are we? Not the pearls. Gotcha. Oh, and he's gonna kind of brush off his knot shirt and.
Brush off his
Nevi's
titties.
just going to...
Any crumbs that are on his
Away
chest,
from
just
the
gonna.
titties.
Yeah.
Nevi's going to grab his big finger and just kind of smile at him. You're doing well.
Not great in the academic bits.
It's okay. You're doing good enough. You're being open and forthright. But do you mean digs around under her shirt for an unnecessary amount of time, comes out with doesn't detach it, just holds it out and chokes herself a little bit. And is like, do you mean this? Because it changed when we were in the Hellmouth thing.
Oh, it did indeed. It had one less jewel the time before. And Alacritus kind of takes a moment. He's like, well, I appreciate that you have arrived safely, Prolix, but it was rather rude for you not to give me a moment to invite our guests to sit, as well as to have some tea. And he picks a wand off the desk and begins to kind of shake it in a direction, and a tea tray comes floating over with tea and biscuits and little finely cut sandwiches on the table in front of him. And then another compartment he points at and flicks the wand at, and some chairs come out of the wall, almost melt out of the wall, and align themselves in front. And he's like, please, have a seat and partake in some light refreshments before we have any further conversations. I don't want you to think we're animals here. Prolix gets right down to business, but we do have manners here in Ank'Harel. We know how to entertain.
Nevi is still holding Kanine's finger, and she just goes, I need one.
The wand?
Just watching everything come out, just food and...
Kanine's gonna speak where would we pick up one of those wands like that? It's pretty nifty little thing.
Oh, it's just a simple spell focus. They have them in the marketplace.
They just all
prefer
come
to
with
use
this thing.
Oh no, those are spells of my own doing. The magic comes from, well, really the air around us, but I don't want to get into a philosophical discussion about the font of magic and the weave on Exandria and how it mimics the moons and the tides, and the weave shifts. There's actually supposed to be a solstice and not too very long. Nevertheless, he does start to ramble a little bit. He's like, there's supposed to be an apex solstice and not too very long. And this is very interesting because the weave on the face of Exandria actually shifts and moves during these times. And he just continues talking about magical weaves and the essence of magic. And he's like, sorry, I get ahead of myself. and you're not here for a lecture.
Janine has a magical weave too.
A different type of weave, but very clever. There's some entertainers in the district who would be very interested in your magical weave, I'm sure.
Kani's going down to Neve, kind of whisper, kind of like pat her on, like kind of backhand her on the shoulder a little bit, like, "Hey, you're fine. We'll just get you a little stick, a wand, if you will, and you already got the magic, so I think you're set. Like, turns out you can already do it. We just gotta get you a wand."
I'm so excited.
Yeah, this will be great.
I believe the font of magic is Times New Roman.
You're not wrong. That is typically what most of the books are printed in by the scholars. But
Yeah, it's when you make all the period 13 but keep it 12. That's the magic.
yes, because it adds to the
Yes.
spacing. Mm-hmm.
That
Yes.
and serif. No magic text can be sans serif. That's the rules.
As long as
True.
it's not Comic Sans.
That is truly
There
a
is no
font of
magic.
Oh, that's magic, darling. That's just
That's the
chaotic.
bard. That's the bard.
That's chaotic energy.
My dissertation was written in Comic Sans. Not mine. Dr. Ray.
Oh.
Of course it was.
Alex, why?
No, mine was written in Garamond. Which
I
is
mean, I could
really
still
not much
see
better,
you
actually.
Doing that for some reason.
Got like Helvetica or something, but
No.
No.
Look, hey, Helvetica is a good font.
that's what I'm saying.
The biggest Alex energy is having 2 dissertations. One is written in just web dings, and the other one is actually written.
Everything's with a key to the side, so you can translate it at your
Yes.
leisure.
Yes.
Yeah, a codex, if you will.
Yeah, that is big Alex energy.
And you translate and it's
Morse
actually
mean.
Latin.
And then you have to
Ultimate
translate
power
it again.
move.
You translate it from web dings to a written language. It's Latin. You have to translate it again.
And then you find out it's written backwards.
Big Alex energy.
Thank you. That's the
Craziest
nicest
thing is they didn't accept it.
How
So-
dare they?
There's Alacritus's big comfy chair. Are the other chairs close to his, or are they just kind
So
of?
it's like a large desk that he's sitting behind, and then he's had these kind of lower settees almost up here where they're like love seats, sit to a person. Also very well appointed and comfortable leather. But they're just pulled up towards the desk, kind of in a like a principal's office situation, but nicer.
Nevi is going to scoot around, and she's going to sit on one and tuck her legs under her skirt. So, thank you for the warm welcome.
Of course. As far as your encounters in Bazazan, that gemstone necklace is quite interesting. From what Prolix tells me, Aloysia went to great lengths to try to procure it to you. So if she is willing to go to such lengths, it must mean quite a deal to them. And they must have some interesting information on it. Would you mind if I took a moment to examine it?
No, but I can't take it off, so you have to just look at it.
Oh,
I probably
How-
could take it off. I just don't know if I can take it off because I've never tried, so I'm assuming that it's magically bound to me.
Not to be rude, Electra. So my apologies. I am Lilith Bathory. We have come across several individuals, Aloysia being one of them, that has tried to kill us for this.
I'm aware.
To release this to an individual that we just met, I am not saying that you are of any kind that means us harm. It's just you don't know much of us as much as we don't know of you. So please excuse the hesitation on just...
Oh, I've
handing
heard
it over.
extensively about you also. I would imagine
You
I
have?
know quite a deal about you. Yes, Prolix has told me about what has happened at Bazazan, as well as what he has gleaned from your conversations that you've had with him.
He's gonna
Well,
look at Prolix and be like, are you a narc, bud?
am I a what? No, rather I was just providing information back to the Allegiance of All Sides so we could better help you all with this necklace, and Aloysia being who she is, and the Consortium of Vermilion Dream being what they are. As we went over a cult, I wanted to provide as much information as possible about the people who she seemed to have such an expressed interest in.
Completely understanding. And again, since you have shared so much, looking back towards Electra, wow, to our goblin friend here.
We could bring race into it, but
Lactose?
That's it.
Are you able to do your examination while our good friend still wears it? Or do you find it rude?
It might be a little awkward. I could. I think it would be an interesting experiment to see if they could even remove it, as they've said they haven't tried. So,
I'm not saying it will hurt me to remove it. I'm just saying magical artifacts. I don't want to take it off and then have my head fall off. You know what I mean? Magical artifacts do weird things.
he's gonna
Of
look down
course.
at his little amulet of the drunkard, be like, "Oh shit!"
Well, that amulet's never coming
of
off.
course. I completely understand your concern. I can examine it to the best of my ability from afar. I won't be able to do anything intensely magical with it while it's still attached. That would be a little too interesting for us both.
Yeah,
But-
I'm already attuned to it. Does this require attunement? I don't even know. Dr. Ray is talking out her ass at this point. But like, how do you know Aloysia? Is she like known around here, or do you just know this from Prolix's reporting?
Oh, well, we've kept tabs on the Consortium of the Vermilion Dreams for a bit now. They are a concern to us as they directly conflict with their own interests. Whereas we believe in exploring and learning more and sharing that knowledge with people that are our partners, such as the Cobalt Soul. However, they believe that the past is the past for a reason and should be left there, and if knowledge is forgotten, it should remain forgotten and be destroyed.
They
So-
believe that?
Yes.
What do you believe?
Oh, we believe that knowledge should be shared and should be uncovered and investigated, and we should learn from our past mistakes in history instead of blissfully ignoring it, therefore doomed to repeat it.
Okay.
Dr. Nelreyes, I think in a kind gesture of trust towards our newfound friends here, and Prolex smiles at him, has helped us, and he did warn you about Aloysia. Perhaps we should see if you can take the necklace off.
Warned me about Aloysia. Okay. Anyway, yeah, sure, whatever. That's fine. Not takes off the necklace.
It
Yeah.
comes off easy. No problem.
Oh, great. I love not having to regrow my head out of that.
You can do that.
I can't not do that. I've
That's
never
another
tried.
experiment to
Sounds
try
cool.
out sometime.
Yeah.
Nebby just watches this and nibbles on a biscuit. Wow.
That is an experiment I would certainly be more hesitant to try than this one.
More
Uh,
hesitant.
Ha. I see what you did
By
there.
the way, our
It was
dear
not good.
friend,
Anyway, take this necklace.
these lovely biscuits and teas that you're provided, were these magically created or are they from a stock? I must know, where did you get these from?
Oh, they're from the bazaar here. We procure everything locally.
Wonderful. She'll take
but
a cup
as-
of tea and
I like
sits
it.
down.
Okay. As for the necklace, he goes ahead and he takes it, and he begins inspecting it, and he pulls out a small leather-bound book that he begins flipping through, kind of muttering some incantations under his breath, and he takes the wand and he taps it in a couple of places, as well as getting out like a small, almost looks like a compact with powder, but instead it has like a charcoal substance in it that he rubs, and he does a circle around the table underneath the necklace, and then taps the necklace again with the wand, and the charcoal lights a flame for just a moment, and as that happens, his eyes also kind of blink and light up. Okay, it is what you thought it was, Prolix. It is certainly a vestige of divergence and has an intense holy energy around it. It's not tied to any one deity. Rather, it initially was a blank slate up, just a typical standard pendant, and then was expanded or blessed by a deity. It has 3 potential blessings that it can receive. It's at 2 now, so there's 1 more that until it is fully awakened. It was prior in a dormant state, if you will, and now it has begun to awaken, but it's not quite fully developed. There is a lingering aura of the 3rd deity. I can't quite make out who it is, but it does have very clear hallmarks of divine creation. Have you had any contact with the divine or some other extraplanar or maybe even beyond the divine gate beings since you've acquired this?
Before answering, just a quick insight check, just to make sure he's telling the whole truth.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll
Nothing
an
but the
insight check.
truth.
24.
Yeah, he seems forthright. Very much like with what he was saying with the like source of magic and everything. It just seems like something he's very interested in, and very excited about, even though he's trying to like kind of dampen down the excitement to give an air of sophistication or an air of power. He is clearly, to you at least, very hyped about this and really wants to know more to further curiosity for curiosity's sake.
Okay. With this sense, yeah. When we first picked it up, we saw this ghost boy. I think his name was like Elixian or something. We later saw him again when we went to this altar in like the tomb of hell pit bad god people. I planked on an altar, and then ghost boy Elixian maybe reappeared. He was like some sort of champion of the normal people for the gods, and I want to say the deity was the change-bringer lady. Yeah. Please, somebody
Avandra.
else. What?
It was Avandra.
Ah, that's it. Yeah, Vandra.
Yes, we're quite familiar with Evandra here in Ancrel. Many patronize her in the city, as she's typically also the deity that merchants and tradesmen tend to adhere to. I don't recall anything about this Elixian that you were speaking
Think you're
of.
wrong.
Um,
There's a lot of names that sound kind of alike, but he was like a curly-haired boy who was a human man. Yeah, I think Nevi was into him. Also think he might be long dead, but hey, whatever tickles your pickle.
Everybody has their
Um,
fight.
yeah, no worries. So Nevi was his name. What was his name? Was it Alexian?
It was Elixian.
All right, great. So he was like a champion
I
of the
was
mortal
actual
people.
Nevi.
yeah, he continues to kind of explain that he doesn't really recall this name, but Dr. Ray, you do notice that when you were talking about the visions, you did see like a small spark of recognition whenever you were explaining further about champion of the people and the gods associated to this person. So he seems like he's not maybe giving all of the information.
Okay, so you I'm a little unclear on something. Did you say that there were 3 different gods who had blessings in this necklace?
Yes. So currently, 2 have given it a blessing. Um, I don't know what exactly you encountered in Bazazan, but it seems to, from what Prolix is saying, it wasn't filled with the second jewel that has now appeared. So that would be the blessing of the second goddess, which in this situation seems to be Avandra, the Changebringer.
Then who was the first one? I don't
The
get it.
first deity that I'm getting a feeling of from this is give me 1 second. I gotta find who it is. Sahanin,
Oh,
the goddess of the moon.
the damn moon again.
No. I think that's the good one.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Ruidus. That's the one I'm gonna fight.
Yes, that as far as I know, there's no deity connected to Ruidus. Rather, Ruidus is considered the curse for most cultures. Some revere it, but those are few and far in between. Most consider the moon itself a ill omen, and whenever it flares, those born under those flares are considered Ruidus born and are considered cursed and in some situations cast out from their own peoples, depending upon where they're from.
Lilith
Just like
just
being a
slowly
Scorpio.
turns and looks at Kaneen. Kaneen?
Uh huh.
Is there a deeper reason why you are so dead set on destroying this moon?
Like what?
Looks back towards their newfound friend. I'm terribly sorry to bore you with this. We could talk about this later.
Of course.
And looks back to
Right.
Kaneen. We'll earmark this and perhaps have a little intervention, you know, the 4 of us, like we did with Nevi, and maybe talk with you, fill out our feelings, talk about the moon.
Okay.
This is coming from me, so you should be
It's
not
a little
concerned.
concerning.
No, don't be concerned. Not at all.
The last few feeling checks you've had have been kind of weird. So, is there the tea? Is the tea coming from like a pot, or is it just like already in the cups?
There's a pot in the center, like a large kettle.
On this, that's Kaneen kind of like gives weird looks to everybody. He's gonna open up his little flask full of orphan hooch. It's about half full right now, and just kind of dump tea into it until it's I
What a
don't know,
combo.
kind of the rest of the way full. I mean, it's not terribly big. It's just a water skin, so you know,
Yeah.
maybe a few cups worth of tea. Can kind of swish it around a little bit. And just kind of look down, tap the amulet a little bit, and just drink about half of it.
Okay.
He's missing hit points. And
You guys have had a long
got,
rest.
He's
So,
got some bruises, so he's gonna kind of look. Does it like light up or anything cool? Or does it just sit there?
if you're using it, it goes ahead and as you tap it, there's kind of like this low like horn sound that you hear as
I'll look into his
the
bag of holding.
as the wounds on your body begins to heal. So go ahead and roll for the amount of healing that it does. I don't recall off the top of my head. I think it's like D6 or something.
And why we do that, Smiley
44 plus
T
4.
did
Oh, there you go.
redeem a inspiration for Dr. Ray.
Thank you so much. I will use this.
Can
Can you refresh on how inspiration from the audience works?
So that is like advantage. You re-roll and then you take the higher.
Excellent.
It only lasts for the stream, so use it or lose it.
Yep, Kaneen lost his.
Yeah. But yeah, so then your wounds go ahead and heal, and Alacritos is like, oh, that's a nifty little object. I don't think I've seen one.
I'd
I've
show
heard
it to
of
you,
them.
but
No, I have no real use. It's tea for me. But I just plain tea, not
Sweet tea vodka.
Oh. Okay. I mean, he's gonna pour like a half cup of the mixture and kind of like saying, if you want to try it, it's pretty good.
I appreciate your offer, and I do not doubt that it is good. Rather, it's a personal choice to keep my mind unclouded.
Oh, you're sober. My bad. He's gonna take it back. Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we got some friends. Yeah, no, you're good. Sorry. And Kane's just gonna sit down and hand the cup to Nevi.
Nevi is
fine.
gonna smile, and she's trying to make Kaneen feel better, so she. Okay, and she'll just drink it. And...
Not good. But I again thank you. No offense whatsoever. As far as what you were saying, I must admit it does remind me a bit of some of the iconography we have seen in a sunken set of ruins we've been exploring in Ankarel, beneath the oasis of Ankarel itself. Though access to these ruins have been limited and closely guarded between the Allegiance of All Sight and the Cobalt Soul. But in good time, we'll get to that. I've said more than I ought to this early in our working relationship.
Well, okay, and then I take out I went to the headquarters of the Cobalt Soul, and all I got was the stupid baseball hat, and I put it on. I'm like, don't worry, I'm a member of the Cobalt Soul.
Oh, excellent. Then you might have heard of our partnership in the ruins. Much has been discovered, but still remains to be discovered. However, like I said, it is closely guarded. Perhaps the Cobalt Soul could grant you entrance. We can as well to those who are members of the Allegiance, but it does take some doing to kind of prove and test yourselves if that's something you would be interested in. We always are looking for new members interested in uncovering and spreading knowledge and information.
Cool. What else aren't you telling us?
What else am I not telling you? Well, there's plenty that I could go into that I assume that you don't know. We could line up some lectures, but as far as the information pertaining to that necklace and your situation, and he hands the necklace back, there's not much more that I know that you don't. Rather, there's more to be explored if we want to continue with a working relationship in this. If you do have any questions about the city before you go, I'm more than happy to answer them. But as far as information or digging deeper about that necklace, it would be more about probably finding a way into those ruins.
Okay. Well, anybody else have any questions? I put the necklace back on.
I don't have a question, but I would like to offer you all to be able to stay and lodge in my apartments for the evening until you can find proper lodging for yourselves and have time to explore the city at your leisure. I would hate for you to be out on the streets. I was going to offer the same to Io and her group before they just headed off, but she's a headstrong girl. She does what she pleases.
Most appreciative.
Oh, I mean-
Of course, we'll take you on that. Take you up on that offer.
We have like a Rocky Talkie. We could let them know that they can stay in the apartments too.
Oh, you have a connection to Io? I thought that went to question.
Damn it. Never mind.
I got my locator thing with AO. I could give it a shot when it works with Lilith.
Oh, no! I'm
Probably
sure
be
we'll
outside,
find
but-
them.
Yeah,
And
we'll
if
go
we
drinking
do,
later.
we'll
They'll be
let
there.
them know that there's accommodations available.
If they still need them, she seemed
course.
that she was going to be finding their own place, which is understandable. Sometimes young people need to do their own thing.
Well then.
He's
Thank
gonna kinda
you.
look at
Thank you
Lilith.
very much.
Well, if you don't have any questions about the city, if you are interested in helping us at the Allegiance of Farsight, we would love to learn more about this together. But, of course, no pressure.
Alacritos, are the libraries open?
Yes, the libraries are open in the area for all who would like to use them. There's plenty here in the Sigil District. You can find easily, there's the Omnivore Library, not too terribly far from here. I assume that Prolix pointed out the Lawbearers archive, but there's plenty in the area if you wish to do some research.
Wonderful, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I am quite curious, since you are letting us know about if we have any questions about this lovely city. Are there soothsayers here?
I would assume you could find some in the Suncut Bazaar.
I'm looking at the map. The Suncut Bazaar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, it's the major trading and district in the area. There's probably some sort of divination person trading their wares there.
Wonderful, thank you.
If not, perhaps over in the guided district where your friend at the Cobalt Soul is. Maybe they have some resources if you can't find it there.
Thank you. At this moment, I think we need to just explore this fine city and speak to our friends over at the Cobalt Soul, and then from there, make the next decision. Of course, we will inform you of what that decision will be when we come to it.
Of course. As I said, no pressure on any of a decision on that. We just seem to be aligned in our pursuit for knowledge, so it seems like it would be a good working relationship.
Of course, of course. Do you have, say, as my friend here, Kaneen has dubbed them, a Rocky Talkie that we can easily connect with you as well?
I don't have a spare sending stone, but we'll be in touch if you need to. Just either come by the apartments or here, or you can tell any messenger to send a message here to the Sigil District and to the Allegiance of Allsight. We're easy to find. We have a whole district.
Wonderful. Anybody else? Do you have questions for our new friend here?
Nevia is going to gracefully stand up and set down her cup of hooch tea and prepare to leave.
Did you drink it all?
Oh, she choked it down.
Okay. I would say if not, she's just gonna shoot it real fast. Hate for it to go to waste.
Okay. That's how you guys go ahead and you exit the room. Upon exiting, Prolix is like, whenever you're ready to return back and have a good night's rest, my quarters are in the area that I showed you, the Scrolls Alcove. There's a very nice young lady who's one of the students who usually works there most evenings. If not, there's another young man who rotates. I've been playing a bit of matchmaker. I think they have a thing for each other, but they're too shy to really get on with it, as we used to say. So if you do run into them, maybe do me a favor and mention the other one that was there earlier or later. Mention them sometime and was inquiring about them, because it would really help my expedition here.
Absolutely.
You do love playing Cupid, don't you?
Well, you've got to fill your time somehow whenever you're a teacher at a university, and
He's kind of wiggle the water skin.
been there, done that. There were some crazy nights in graduate school.
Oh my.
I bet, old man. I bet.
Well, ta-ta. If you need anything, just have someone reach out to me. As Alacrito said, we're easy to find. And he kind of like totters off on his own, and he's like mumbling under his breath. Now I wonder if I change the schedule, I can make it where they're both there at the same time.
So cute.
This now turns into a fan fiction romance story.
You're welcome.
As he's tottering off and everybody else is taking a moment to regroup, Nevi is just going to smile down and slip a little biscuit into the doll's head.
You just see a slight shadow glimpse of a snake curling around the biscuit, and then a tongue flicker at the biscuit.
She's just going to smile and not say a word, just look back up. So,
Love is completely oblivious.
where are we going?
Well, we do have Dr. Ray's old stomping ground, I guess, to go visit. But I do have 2 other locations that I know personally I would like to see. As I mentioned to you the other night, and I was woken mid-sleep last night when I was watching over Preshow have his conversation in his tent. He was using a mirror that I can only presume was a way for him to be in contact with one of my sisters that had the same look and ornamentation that the hairbrush has. I am slightly concerned that there might be something connected with this hairbrush, so I would like to have it identified just to make sure there's nothing connected to it as well.
Oh. I think I actually... Nope, never mind. I was going to say I think I have I do. I
Oh,
can
you
just
do?
cast Identify.
I
Yeah,
thought
I
we would.
swapped.
Oh, you swapped?
Yeah.
Lilith is just going like, it's just like, we've had this discussion before. You couldn't do it back then. What do you mean you can do it now? I could have used it back when I was trying to figure out the classes in Parallax. It's fine.
Something
It's
flying out of
fine.
some swords. Something. It's okay. We've both made mistakes.
I know, it's terrible that you didn't trust Prolex. But...
What? Do you want me to cast Identify or not?
I would appreciate that. I mean, we could not, and my sisters could be using that as a means to get to us, and then you would have to deal with them, and I will have to just stand by and watch it happen. Would you like that instead, or would you like to deal with me?
I mean,
throw it away regardless.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
you
I just
worked
want
so hard to get that hairbrush. If it is of no consequence or no bother to us, I would love for you to keep that lovely hairbrush.
Lilith, he didn't work hard for that hairbrush.
I was prepared to work hard for the hairbrush, but...
Yeah. Someone put in the hard work.
Yes, I know.
Wasn't Kenny.
I had to make the connections. I had to talk to Draysol. I had to introduce him to him. Thank you for acknowledging my hard work in all of this.
Sure. I would just like to make one point of note, though, which is if your sisters do use this, like a tracking device to come follow us, you're not going to be the one standing by. You're going to be the target. Which is all the more reason to identify it. I'm just pointing out a flawed premise in your argument. You're not going to stand by and watch. We're going to be the ones on the sideline.
Dead, don't you think that would have happened a long time ago? I'm not the target to kill. It's those who are connected to me that needs to be more concerned.
I'm probably
Identify the brush.
He's gonna get their hairbrush out of his bag, hold it, and hand it.
I'll cast Identify.
Okay. You cast Identify on the brush, and it actually appears to be, from what you're getting from it, a similar to other magical items that you've seen, but this keeps people from being able to easily scry on you or be able to actually like read your thoughts or anything like that up to a certain distance. So it seems like it's more of a immediate area for the thoughts, but it makes it more difficult for people to be able to scry on you. The thoughts, it's no one can read your mind within a 200-foot distance of you.
Does this work within the bag of holding, or does it need to be out of the bag of holding in order to be effective?
It has to be out in attune too.
Okay. So it doesn't impact between Lilith and Nevi, though, right?
If one of you were to have it active, then you wouldn't be able to read the other person's mind.
Okay.
The needle keep it.
I'll
never read his thoughts.
I mean, there's not much to read there.
No, there's plenty to read there. Just pure chaos.
Dives into your mind, just immediate screaming.
As he sits there just drinking his little tea, like, yeah, this is good.
So it looks like the opposite of what you thought it was. Here you go. But, okay, so I do have a question about this. So you said out and attuned. So if it's attuned but in like a backpack, it's not going to do this?
That's fine. But like a bag of holding wouldn't be considered like equipped, because in a bag of holding, you have to do extra steps to get it. What I mean by out and attuned is it needs to be like an equipped level of accessible. So like in like an accessible pocket or an accessible like accessory bag or something like that on you. So a backpack would be fine.
How many attunement slots do you have, Dr.
3.
Ray?
In total, everyone has 3.
I know we all have. I'm sorry. I know we all have 3, but I know
Oh,
that
you mean
they are
available?
wearing a necklace. If they
I have
had
2
any, you have 2
left.
available slots left.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think you probably should be the best one to attune to this, since you do have the necklace that several people have shown a lot of interest in.
That's true, but just speaking practicality wise, as a bard, a lot of the stuff that I am going to need does require attunement. So I could maybe do it for now, but if I end up buying any more magical items, I'm gonna have to unattune it. Just like on a pure player level. Like I play a bard in another campaign, and I always have to be like, all right, I have not enough attunement slots.
I think that's acceptable, and when we get to that, we'll cross that bridge. Unless anybody else think that one of us would be better to have it. The only reason that I can see for myself to have it is just so it's easier for my sisters to scribe onto me and track me. But
I think if one of us has it, it impacts all of us, correct?
So no, if
No,
one of you
okay.
has it, it just makes it more difficult for someone to scry on you. So
Oh, okay.
if someone was to attempt to use you as the focus of a scrying spell, it makes it where it is very much more difficult for them to succeed in that. It doesn't make it impossible, but it makes it more difficult.
Okay,
And
okay.
if someone were to scry on someone else and you're in the area, it kind of makes it where you're like a blob, like if someone was to like blur you out of a security camera footage or something.
Oh,
So-
okay. My misunderstanding. I was making an argument against because I thought this was like kind of like a beacon for everybody. But if it's just
No.
for one person,
there is
I'm
Dr.
glad
Ray
to
with
take
the
it.
necklace. There's me with my sisters. Kanine, are you hiding something that you haven't shared with us yet? I am.
I mean,
As
yeah,
we're not, I feel
probably.
like we're walking down the street. She's like, this is an opportune time for you to open up and tell us a little bit more about why you have so much hatred for this moon. What did the moon do to
It
you?
literally cursed all of us at the same time.
Yes, but I am not set out to kill the moon as much as you are.
That's your own
But
prerogative.
is that? Is there anything else? I know I have not been forthcoming of my own past, and I'm telling you about my sisters. But is there anything that you wish to share? Nevi, I know that we just found out more about you too.
Like what? Like what are we going for? I mean, like I've been.
Is there a reason why you need the
Both
damn
into criminal.
hairbrush?
He's gonna point to the hairs. Like I had magical hair spread out of my head in the dungeon.
I actually think it would be better for Lilith, just because like you have people on your trail literally trying to murder you. So like that's fine if you want it.
But then that would.
I just want to clarify one thing, just so that everyone's on the same page. My sisters are not necessarily out to kill me. My sisters, my family, if you recall, took my mother and myself from our home. If they wanted me dead, they just would have killed me. Not
I
take
think
me.
Lilith is safe, and
It's
I am
just-
reluctant. I'm reluctant to subvert certain means of communication. So my vote is Dr. Ray. You are carrying quite a lot of valuable.
The only other thing I do want to point out is Aloysia is still out there. She knows you have the necklace, and she went after it. And she's part of that cult.
Oh, I mean, now that I understand that it's not just like a beacon for the whole party, I am totally game to take this and protect myself. That's fine. It was more like if somebody else had more attunement slots available. Great,
So
fine, great.
if anyone has any disagreements, I guess Dr. Nelrez attune with it. And then when the time comes and we find other magical items that are better suited for you, we'll cross that bridge.
Yeah, for sure, because I will probably find more items, but this is very useful, at least for now, so it's no problem.
Cool.
And I will get with you with an item card on D&D Beyond because I have been fighting it to make it work the way that I want it to. Because it's not an actual item. It's one that I created by combining different items. And I'm trying to get it to work right so it appears correctly on your character sheet.
Okay, no problem. I hope that nobody's gonna scry us in the next hour and a half.
I mean, if so, I know the properties of it and can keep it in mind.
With that said, and now knowing what the hairbrush does, the only other thing that I had in mind that I would like to do eventually, before the night comes, is to head over to that district, into the Suncut Bazaar, see if I could come across a soothsayer. Sometimes they can enlighten us with events. And
What are you trying to soothe?
it's
Kinda sore.
more ask them a question about one of my younger sisters. I
Cool.
was told something by her that at the time was very puzzling and confusing, and I was wondering if maybe they can offer a little bit more detail.
Cool. I'm fine with side questing.
All right, let's go.
So, stomping ground or soothsayer?
Oh, that's not actually my stomping ground. I'm not from here. I'm from Port Timbali.
Oh, it
They
felt
just
like
they have a cobalt soul here, and I have like if I might have been here like I think I was here like a while ago on a research trip, but like I'm not from here. It's just the cobalt soul all knows each other. Blah blah blah. Not knows each other. It's a cult. You get it.
Cult to be
sure.
golden.
Yeah.
So, what would you all like to do? Go to the Cobalt Soul first and speak with them, or head to the bazaar?
I would like to meet some of Dr. Ray's friends. I think that would be very interesting to see what they're like.
I'm not from here, but we can
But
meet.
I'm sure they'll be your friend. You're in the same party,
Frat.
society, group, frat.
Yeah, frat. We're in the
Alright.
same brain frat.
Maybe you are so easy to assimilate into a cult.
Who, me?
Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks. Oh,
You're so kind.
Now drink the juice.
She's going to take the little
Oh,
thing from Kaneen and just take a shot.
whatever gets you through the day.
Immediately fills you with that.
All right,
Okay.
Cobalt Soul then, I guess.
Okay. So you all begin heading towards the guided district, and upon arriving, you see the entire district itself, a lot like the Sigil district that you came from, has copious amounts of white marble throughout. And you can see several houses of worship, one each for the prime deities represented here. You also see that the architecture itself and the marble is more carved and ornate and ornamental than elsewhere in the city. The temples themselves tend to have intricate mosaics over the top of the entrances as well as along the walls, and then minarets of gold or other precious metal gilded spires. There are some also, it seems like, less fortunate some vagabonds in the area. And you see, well, they're different robed clerics from different organizations seem to be set up with helping them, either feeding or clothing them. There's various, like, almost like stalls set up where they're kind of lining up for some sort of public benefit that's being provided by each of the temples. While going through, you see at the very heart of this district is a stone courtyard with a large well in the center of it. It doesn't seem to be particularly dedicated to any one deity. You also see off towards the like back section a very, very high, almost pile, but it's just like a wall of tombs carved into the cliffs that border this section of the guided district, and various kind of figureheads carved into the tombs and stuff like that. Throughout it, you also see depictions of different deities. And at the very, very cliff of it, at the very bottom of the cliff, you can see a small temple that has a motif of wings and ravens, which you can assume has to do with, as you know her, where you're from, the Raven Queen, who is the goddess of the transition between life and death. On the far western side, you pass by a slightly crooked tower that exists here that has, looks like it was half left to demolish, but you see people going in and out every so often. And then as you continue around past that is the Temple of the Mentor, which you know is the headquarters here of the Cobalt Soul, as the Cobalt Soul follows Ayun, who is the goddess of knowledge and magic. So above it you see a ceramic mosaic of 3 open eyes framed in cobalt blue, much like your robes are. It's very well known in the area as more of like a library and a place of like a depository of knowledge and study than it really is a temple. It's called a temple in the sense of all of these places here are temples, but it's not treated as you would any of the other temples here. Rather, it's a place for people to come and learn.
Right. So it's like a community center / library.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, now that we're here,
Cool.
I guess we should reach out to questions, see if they're even ready for us.
Oh yeah, right.
Probably
We
should
should have done that.
Yeah, we should have done
Don't
that.
you?
Yeah,
don't
I have
you
that.
have-
Hello? Hi. Hello? Question? Is this how this works? 1, 2, 1, 2. This is Lilith. Hello?
Oh, yes and no. Maybe just give the whole message because it's a lot easier. You get just a couple of phrases and then you comes back and then back and forth. But message, please. Thanks.
Are you ready for us?
No. Give me like a day. I just got here like a little bit ago. There was some cool stuff that I had to stop and look at and so give me a little bit. Maybe you find a nice tavern?
And he's gonna grab the stone and be like, "Where is a nice tavern?"
I feel like
There
Lilith
are
is still holding on to it. She's
several.
just held up in the air.
Have your whole hand just lift off the ground for a second.
There are several. Depends on how nice you want. There's the harried mongoose in the river district. It's like a mid-range. Step aside
Solid
at the
tavern
circlet rock. It is like a comfortable kind of deal. If you want something really nice, there's Lap of the Gods in the Sand Herald district. That is
sounds dumb.
ritzy. If you're into gambling, there's the Golden Chip in the Suncut Bazaar, but it's a little sketchy. And then there's a Jeer's Whetstone in the Alluvium district. It's like a bunkhouse kind of situation.
Okay, I like that one and the hairy mongoose based off the name. So I'll let them pick which one. I'm gonna put Lilith and the stone down.
Not even bothering with the stone anymore. Just looks like she's like, we can go to those if you want, but I'm surprised you didn't choose the one that had gambling in it. You're always drawn to that type of business. And
I
to be
mean-
fair, it is in the Sun Cut Bazaar area, which is where the soothsayer is.
Yeah,
So,
we can stop
two
by.
birds
I'm
with one
not
stone?
above gambling.
And she
There's
looks back
usually,
at the stone.
rob the
And-
gambling people.
So,
Miss Lilith.
hmm?
So it sounds like you've made your mind up. That usually means we're doing something. Are we going to gamble in Sooth?
Forsooth. Yes.
Sounds like you have the right idea. I am glad you came up with it, not me. You're so good, Nevi.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And Nevi is
Lilith
just
is-
going to hand you a biscuit.
Lilith is getting
Patronizing
old.
little human.
So it is like condescending versus condescending going on between those two.
Mhm.
Dr.
Yeah.
Ray and I are like, hey, yeah, drinking like liquor made in a bathtub. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
great. We're just gonna hang out and kind of be broy. These two are
Yeah.
like, haha, I can outsnide you. Listen here.
While
Look,
they do that, we climb into the bathtub with the liquor in it and drink it.
Kanine's actually gonna approach Dr. Ray and kind of like, hey, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah,
Little
go
knowledge
for it.
list. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got like all sorts of knowledge here, right?
Yeah, is there something you'd like?
No, we just like when we come back, like with little poking, like, hey, where are you from and whatnot, like, wouldn't mind poking a little bit at old tribe stuff and see what they have on that.
Oh, I mean, we can look now. Like, we don't have to talk to them. They don't know who you are. Like, we can just go in and browse the shelves.
I have a
Oh.
hat. They won't question.
I could take my hat off even. Because
Oh, no,
we're
I
not
thought the
supposed to
hat-
be here
Are
yet.
I thought the hat just meant, hey, I'm one of you. Like,
Oh, it does, but this is open for people who just want to know things. Like,
oh.
you don't need to be in it unless you want to like.
I thought it was like one of those,
Get
hey, bro,
higher
I'm one of you,
information.
bro. Like, awesome. You, like,
It's both.
Could I like?
There's
could
like
I-
As
a friend-
Dr. Ray, as she
It's
takes
like-
the hat off, I'm gonna brush off some of that puffy paint. Crumbles on her shoulder.
Oh, thanks. No, it's like it's like a museum, right? They have a bunch of stuff in the front section that you can see, and then underground they have weird archaic texts and also skeletons of people that should probably be put to rest.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Is
So
very
does that mean I can like take things with me and bring them back tomorrow? I mean, I'm probably going to whether they want me to or not, but I'll bring them back. Like I'm not stealing.
You know what?
stealing.
Harm reduction.
Temporary stealing.
Just take it. Just bring it back.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Chaos.
I won't tell on you. This isn't my branch, but also, don't keep it because other people might want that knowledge.
I get it. I mean that, and I don't think my friends can do much with a scroll for the most part. So
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I do
What?
need to talk to a couple people about some of this teleportation stuff because I'd like to look into that for a couple side projects.
Wait, sorry. Are you selling these books? Are you?
No,
Are you-
I just said I'm not going to sell the book.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sure she could find a market for them, but I think she'd assume I was kidnapped if I started sending her books.
Okay. All right. As long as you don't sell them and get rid of them.
Yeah, no. I just, where would that stuff be? Goliath
yeah.
tribes?
Yeah. There's like a cobalt decimal system. Like I'll find it.
Who do I ask?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys going in and doing some research?
I'd like to just grab a couple things on the Goliath tribes from the Grand Wildlands. If they
Okay.
have those kind of documents. Look,
Okay.
Lil's spoken about history. Kanine's trying to look at the history.
Yeah. All right, so you all head into the actual temple, and see where it's just crammed packed as a library. It is floor to ceiling of the walls, books and shelves upon shelves upon shelves upon shelves. Go ahead and whoever is leading this search for information, roll an investigation check
My God.
to try to find it.
Wait a second.
Okay, 21.
Hey, oh.
21.
Nice.
Okay. It's actually very well cataloged. Whenever Dr. Ray was saying that they have a cobalt decimal system, it is meticulously cataloged. And for the section that is available to the public, which all of this big area is available, you do find a few texts about the tribes from the Graying Wildlands. You find one which is a rather lengthy text and a little bit pedantic in places about the migration patterns and habits of the the tribes from the Graying Wildlands.
Weird to think that my people were being cataloged like animals, but I mean, he's gonna move past that part.
I mean, it's a pretty old text. It has some racist undertones.
He's gonna read a little bit like, I don't think this is the one I need.
You find another that is a first-hand account of someone who spent time along one of the tribes and is talking about like cultural practices as well as like religious beliefs and like some major historical events for that particular tribe. You find a third text which speaks of an account of a expedition through that area and how they observed and ran into some of the tribes there, and it kind of tries to define the differences between the tribes and like catalog and name them. Also has very slightly racist undertones to it.
Naming the tribes instead of just asking them what their name is. I mean,
Instead
there's
of using their name, like it lists like the name that they use and then gives like a commonized version of it for the lay person to
as Ganine kind of reads
comprehend.
some of this, he's gonna kind of glance over at Dr. Ray a little bit, be like, these are your people?
No, this is
Okay.
just a collection of knowledge, you know,
okay,
and
okay.
I don't endorse it, all of it. It's just here.
Okay. So
And then you find a very, very short text, which is about like almost like proto deities, like so deities that aren't official deities but are like sub deities of the Goliath peoples, which is interesting because it has some names that you've never heard of before and some indications of like practices and followings that you hadn't necessarily heard of in general, like common everyday culture.
Were
Right.
you not raised among Goliaths?
he's gonna kind of look at you for a second and be like,
We were raised together.
we met at the orphanarium when I was 5.
Oh, sorry, I
I
meant before that, but I see your
I mean, my
point.
family was Goliaths, but like, we kicked out of the tribe when I was like little bitty. And
Right.
so, I mean, I know the tribe's name. It was
So you
the
knew your family
Kiwi-Ino.
then?
Do what?
You knew your family? I'm sorry, this entire
Yeah,
time
when I was little. Yeah.
When you guys have mentioned you were orphans, I just thought you never knew your family.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I
Oh.
knew him a little bit. I had,
Yeah.
You know, parents, a sister. Now
My
I have
family all-
none.
You
All
too?
died in the Civil War.
Oh.
Don't worry about it. We're fine. We got each
Yeah,
other, right,
fine.
buddy?
Yeah, I just kind of, I mean, it's kind of one of those like, I know the tribe's name. It's the Kiwi-Ino. So when, just kind of figure like if I could poke it at some, try to figure out some stuff on it, you're bringing up like, hey, your past. And so, I figured I'd look at the past.
Yeah, for sure.
Always kind of want
Sorry.
to figure out. I mean, admittedly, I didn't grow up in the tribe. So, kind of, poke at why maybe that was a thing. So, he's gonna kind of like get very awkward with this and be like, yeah, it's not, it's just, always wondered
Sorry.
why, we grew up in Uthodurn instead of with the tribe, but I mean, he's gonna like grab all but the he doesn't care for the tracking migration pattern ones. He's gonna kind of put that on like a lower shelf. Be like, sorry about your system, and then put the other 3 in the bag of holding,
I'll put that back up on the correct shelf.
and can be like, okay, so we're gambling and soothing, right? And he's gonna start
Yeah.
heading out.
Yeah, so I was
Nevi's
basically
gonna wipe a
sorry.
tear and like dive at Kaneen and just wrap her arms as far around as she can and give him a big hug. I'm so sorry.
I'm assuming at this point it's from behind because he started taking off, so he's just kind of grab her arms and like just hoist her up and just keep on going.
She'll
They're
wrap
kinda
her
like-
legs
kinda
around
like-
and be like,
Yeah,
here we
kind of
go.
like pat you on the back and be like, yeah, let's go do some gambling. It sounds like fun now. Maybe we'll rattle. Who knows?
Sorry to bring up a sensitive subject, and I'll also ask a very dumb question.
I will hang back just far enough for everyone to get ahead of me, and the book that he tried to put on to a different shelf that then Dr. Ray put on to the correct spot, Lilith will just take it and hide it somewhere else.
Okay. Move it, put it out of place. Person who has to reshelve the books will hate you because now they're
They
gonna have
won't
to
see
do
it for a
that.
while. There's so many.
But that's okay.
These darn teens, you know.
Lilith learning empathy one day at a time.
Little bit, okay? Just a little bit.
But you will go ahead and leave the guided district and head to the Suncut Bazaar. Upon getting to the outskirts of the bazaar, you notice that on the map you had to quite realize that that double line was a wall that completely surrounded this bazaar. So you have to kind of skirt it for a little bit until you find one of the few entryways to it. And you see a vaulted stone archway that's draped with these crimson banners, welcoming peoples of all different types and different languages to the Suncut Bazaar. The battlements themselves that are all around this area, you can see a constant patrol of guards going back and forth and stationed and keeping a very close eye on the dealings below and those entering at the gate. Once you enter, the street kind of becomes this dusty red road that travels and snakes through the district, and it is absolutely packed, like asses to elbows packed. Like you're just fighting your way through all of these different people, and it's quite loud. As you go, there's many different market stalls shaded by these colorful awnings lining the streets and alleys. Walking through, you do note and clock the Golden Chip, which is a tavern and casino here in the Suncut Bazaar. You also clock a casino called the Lux Run, which is a doesn't have a tavern portion provided to it, but it is also a different casino. Then you see a very large and almost imposing shop, where out in front of it you can see many different bones hanging from colored bead strands and clacking softly in the wind as it blows. And spelled out in bones over top of this is the name Bone Garden.
Nice. Sounds like a brothel.
Brothel so far. Come with Bone Gardener, the hairy mongoose.
You also see another tavern, but you do note that it's not one that was listed by question, and this one is called First Eclipse. And then to the very back, you see a kind of draped in tapestries and rich fabrics, a shop that is called Mystic Pursuits. And there is like a spread of tarot as well as a crystal ball on the sign.
Am I still
Walking
on Kaneen's
past.
back?
Yeah.
never
I
got down,
assume.
he's not going to make you get
Sweet.
down.
I'm just going to be happy up here because I can see above all the heads now.
True. It's nice.
Walking past that bone garden, Lilith is just like going lock and just watch it as they walk past. And she's like, is anybody else kind of curious?
Yeah, but part of me wonders if it's just like home goods for goth kids and you're just gonna use it to like buy some like vases made of bones.
I mean, but this
Oh,
is
good meets
speaking
Hot
to me.
Topic.
Why are you telling
Yeah,
me
exactly.
no? I want to go inside.
Yeah, I'm game. I'm game to go in the bone garden.
Let's go find some bones.
And some gardening. You
Yes.
worship the wild mother, right? It's a merger of both of your interests.
I think this is going to bring all of us together. It's going to be wonderful.
As a
I'm
family.
going to tap Kaneen on the shoulder and say, let's go.
Sure. He's going to head through the door.
Just grabs the hair and steers him.
Ratatouille.
You guys go ahead into the bone garden, which is an experience of itself, as the entire entrance is like almost clouded in these clacking bone chimes almost.
I am taking note again of this decoration. I need this for my place.
And as you get past almost this beaded curtain of bones into the shop itself, you see it's an interesting combination as a shop of an antique store, mismatched, strange items. It's just a weird collection of stuff.
How much of it is made of bone?
Not much of it, just kind of the entrance and the decor throughout.
Misleading is what you're saying.
Well, it's a garden of bones. There's a garden of bones out front. But inside, it's just kind of like the weirdest antique store you've ever been in. Like the weirdest thrift shop you can think of, but weirder.
Nice.
Nevi is going to take a look around.
Okay.
Do I see anything that stands out as perhaps magically significant?
Make an Arcana check.
It's 4.
Oh, no, you don't. Some of the things look like they might be magical, but that might also just be real good paint.
But I will never know.
And you will never know. Like you see a chest of drawers at one point that you swear moves.
I thought I had detect magic, but I do not. So I guess I will be doing a Arcana check too, as I just like go to the shelves and just finger through all the items and be like, oh, and this would look good in my book, and this, and just
Okay.
nat 20.
Okay.
Hey.
Screw the whole making you drink. I want that bonus.
I
In
want
this
that magical
case,
chest of drawers.
You want that bone us.
Hey.
So, among the items, Lilith, you're able to find a couple of different items that you are pretty darn certain are magical, and you think you know generally what they might be. You find a large ceramic jug that appears to hold roughly about a gallon of liquid, and based on the like etchings that you can find on the bottom, you think that you can kind of wish whatever liquid you would like
I was about to
into
say,
this jug.
does this jug contain mayonnaise at the moment?
It does not currently contain mayonnaise because it would smell awful in this desert heat.
Would it have mayonnaise?
It's
If If you want
It's a critical
manage.
role joke.
To our lovely show that we are pre-show to.
Yeah, it's a critical role joke.
Okay.
You also find a where'd it go? Sorry. I did a rando thing and I'm trying to find it where I put it in my many windows of stuff that I have
All your
now
sticky
pulled up.
notes.
Yeah.
If only they were in paper and you could just look through them.
They're not sticky notes, they're tabs.
Kind of
They're just
tomato,
like-
tomato.
Item cards. Flip through.
That is the
Do
thing.
those exist?
Yeah, they make them as decks.
Yep.
Mhm.
You also find a black sphere that's about 3/4 of an inch in diameter. And it doesn't weigh much. And as you kind of like pick around, you try to see if there's any more. And you find about 7 more of them scattered throughout the shop. And they seem like they're either something that you throw and it explodes, or you can put power into. You're not certain which it is, but they definitely have like that kind of signature to them.
Smoke bomb.
Stink bombs.
You also find, while you're looking through everything, doop. Sorry.
A Gutenberg Bible.
How'd that get here?
They're everywhere.
Toss.
You also find a 6-sided die that whenever you're rolling it, if you don't think of a number, it seems like it's random, but every time you think of a number, it seems like it's rolling that number.
Cool.
And then you find an amulet that the amulet itself, the kind of gem that it's made of, seems to, while you're looking at it, have almost this swirling blue mist. And as you look deeper into it, you swear you can see like the demi-plane that you go into whenever you go into your doll.
We're going to grab all the stuff.
Okay. And that's about what you find.
Yeah. So the black balls, all 7 of them, the jug, the 6-sided die, and the amulet. Just going to grab it all, and I'm just going to go up to the shopkeeper.
So you walk up to the shopkeeper, and you see a human who is dressed in like really brightly patterned and colored clothing. She has like a bandeau top on that's like a fiery orange and red with like kind of lining of purple on it. And then she has like draped across her these like almost gossamery like fabrics that are in other bright colors, like a deep magenta, as well as another like lighter pinkish purple, and loose pants on that go just below her knee, and some very, very interesting sandals that have like kind of like carvings into the leather that are like different animals, but it's like skeletal versions of each of the animals. She's a weird juxtaposition compared to all of the antique items. She's very like bright and full of life.
In Citric.
Yes, very eccentric looking.
Hello, darling. Lovely little shop here, I have to say. How are you? Wonderful. I am glad to see that. So, My sweet, sweet individual. I have found a few of your items here. I was just wondering how much would it be for this?
And she goes ahead and she reaches across and starts like gathering them all and looking at them. And then she pulls out a book and starts kind of like tallying numbers. And then she glances around the shop really quick before like pointing up in the corner and then like wiggling her finger towards, and this very colorful parrot comes flapping down and lands on her shoulder. And it kind of like in obnoxiously squeaky voice, the parrot's like, that'll be, altogether 250 gold.
250 gold. My, you must value these things very well. I do see that they do have a great use to them, but I was looking to make a bargain here. Tell me, what kind of discount can you give for purchasing all these things at once?
Roll persuasion.
That is 23.
Okay. She kind of like looks at the parrot, who looks at her, and she looks at the book, and she looks at the items, and she starts to do math again in the book. Points to the math with the parrot, points to the parrot again. I can knock off about 50 gold, 200 gold altogether.
She smiles. Because I like you so much. Agreed.
While they're talking, Nevi's like, down, down.
Oh,
Kameen gonna let her
No
go.
more uppies,
Yeah.
no more uppies.
yeah. Kameen's gonna like, kind of like help her down, I guess.
She's going to go over to the parrot. She's gonna offer the parrot a biscuit.
He like takes the biscuit with a claw and holds it up, and he offers a bite to the human next to him. He turns and she takes a nibble of it before he puts it in his beak, and he takes a bite and then offers it back to her, like back and forth. They just kind of pass
Aw.
this biscuit between each other.
Oh my gosh, I love them. Nevi's going to take out another biscuit and offer it to the lady whose shoulder he's standing on.
And she takes
Smile.
it, and they do the same ritual, just in reverse, basically. And the parrot, between bites, squawks, and he's like, "We like you. I'm Akil. This is Barosha."
Hello, Akil. Hi, Verosha. I'm Nevi. I'm very pleased to meet you.
Nevi. And the bird kind of like has a moment and like flaps off somewhere into the store. And it takes him a couple of seconds, but then he comes back and comes with this like silver branch that has small little golden bells tinkling on it, and kind of like drops it and like tucks it into your hair with his beak before flying back to Arosha's shoulder. Thanks for the biscuit!
Akil, this is beautiful. Where did you find this?
People bring things in, people lose stuff, Akil finds.
You are a very clever bird, and I'm very pleased to have met you.
Arosha kind of pats him on the head, and he like nuzzles up to her.
Oh my gosh, I love them. Verosha, do you stay here all the time? Do you ever leave the shop? Well, if you leave this evening, we might be at one of these establishments if you'd like to come have dinner with us. Akil, you are most welcome. Please join.
Akil likes dinner.
How long can we make Corey be a parrot?
Yeah.
I mean,
We're setting this up for
This
all
is the rest of
night.
the next few sessions
I was
that
gonna
we're
say,
staying
with
here.
This is it. This is it now. I get to
At
be
least 3 more
a mute
sessions.
lady and a parrot for now on.
I'm gonna find side quests within this little curio shop.
Every party's got to adopt one NPC, and I guess this is this party's adoption.
I mean, it's a good choice.
Not a
I've
bad
actually
one.
been trying to adopt an entire other party, but
You
Well,
have
I have right.
actively been trying to. And I'm like, no, you don't get an extra like 7 people to add to your party whenever
it's
you are
only
4.
what, 5? It's fine. It's not 7. I don't want like anybody else, just those 5.
God, you're so drama.
We could maybe lose the old drought guy. He's kind of weird.
That's the only one I like.
I was like, he's not really Kaneen's type, and he hasn't really talked to Kaneen. Everybody else has been chummy with Kaneen. This guy's like, I think I bought him port, and he was like, yeah, and that was about it.
And he was the one that was chummy with Lilith.
Lilith, yeah.
Which kind
It's
of adds up to
oh,
why
you're the
Kaneen's
smart
not.
one in the group. And she's like, not really, but hey. So yeah. I'm done here. Unless Nevi, you want to continue to feed the bird? Tuppence a bag?
Nevi is going to hand the bird another biscuit. Akil, we're looking for a soothsayer. Where would we find that here?
Best chance is Mystic Pursuits.
All right. That's the tarot shop, right?
Rorosha nods.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you at dinner.
You smile and she waves.
Nevi's going to turn, and now we're headed to Mystic Pursuits.
He's actually gonna swing by the counter real fast and be like, "Hello, Rory and Akil."
Gets the bird's name right, not the humans.
It's a much simpler name. I think it's like probably the same amount of letters, but like with an extra syllable. Kaneen's about effective use of syllables and letters.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, so do you guys? He's gonna kind of lean. He's like, this kind of looks like one of those like things do weird things shop. Learned that the hard way a time or two, as to not take from places like this. So I was wondering if you guys had anything that could like get something from point A to point B that is like nowhere near here.
Rorosha thinks for a moment. High or low?
With that said,
High, I think is what I go with.
Mr.
Yeah.
Producer throws in for the fact that you are having troubles with names. The Chaos Gremlin has been released.
Of course it has.
If that's the standard, we're never going without a chaos gremlin. That is quite literally one of the cornerstones of my character.
Although I do like that you mess up the human's name, because I do that when people have dogs.
Oh,
Remember the dog's name.
Same.
So as Rorosha thinks, she like looks back up at Akil and she like mimes something to him really quick, and he flaps off into the like clusterfuck of a shop. It is clearly not super organized. But then he comes back with a scroll and plops it down, and it is a spell scroll of teleportation.
He's gonna also think. So is this like a one-off type thing, or? Yeah, I appreciate it. Like, thank you very much. He's gonna like put a gold on the table and be like, "That's like, thank you for your efforts." He's concerned. Are there any like just like things of like rings or random trinkets near him?
Yeah, there's like random stuff everywhere.
Okay. He'd like to grab a ring and I don't know, like a stick or something. Like we like walking sticks or like canes.
Yeah, there's
metal
like
poles,
canes
anything
in
long and
the
cylindrical.
area all over. You see like a a really interesting, like, tall walking stick that's got like a winding, like, branch top to it. There's a cane that has like a head of like a viper on it. You see another cane that looks like it has a gem on top, but as you like go to grab it, it kind of comes off, and you notice that it twists off, and there's like a hiding compartment in it that you can then twist it back on.
He's gonna take that one, and he's just gonna grab a ring, just one ring, just whatever looks kind of crude, I guess. He doesn't want a fancy ring.
Okay, yeah, there's plenty of like simple bands and stuff like that you can find. There's like a tray of them.
Yeah, whatever the
counter.
worst one is, he wants that one.
Okay.
A mood ring with a skull on it.
Worst in taste, I just meant in quality. I'm not trying to get fancy here.
Nevi is standing in the doorway with her face up to the sunshine. She doesn't even open her eyes. She yells back, Ayo's gonna love that.
And he stops for a second. He's like, oh, I guess he's gonna grab a second one and put it on. Didn't realize I had to buy them gifts. He's gonna push those forward and be like, and he's actually just gonna take his money pouch and just gonna put it down and just kind of like, he's there. She's nonverbal, so he is now trying to communicate nonverbal out of some weird instinct. And I say that because that's what I was doing. I'm like, he doesn't speak. I better not speak as well.
I love that so much.
To be rude.
And I really wish it was just a Kaneen thing, but that was my instinct, and I don't.
Precious. Yeah, so you put all of those on the table, and she like looks at the gold that you had put down prior and kind of like slides it over, and then goes and takes a couple of silver out and slides the like 3 silver back, and she's like, it's fine.
Okay, Kaneen's gonna take the gold, take his pouch and put it back, and he's gonna slide the silver back and be like, it's good, we're good. The tip, I think. I don't know, do you tip shop people?
No.
I don't purchase often. He's gonna take the rings. He's gonna put one on, I guess, and then put the other one in his pocket, and then take the stick, open it up for a second. He's gonna pour some the tea hooch in there. And he's gonna close it up and be like, he's gonna kind of offer
watertight.
He's gonna kind of offer some to the both of them.
The bird can't get his beak into the stick well enough.
Oh no,
he tries.
from the water skin. If the bird is reaching for the water skin, he will absolutely tilt it.
The bird like tries, but like it's not really going well. But then Urosha's just like, and she takes it. She takes a quick like slug of it, and then hands it back, and she's like,
you should come to dinner. I like you. Nice place. And he's gonna kind of give him a thumbs up and try to make some weird signs, and then walk out. He's seen people do sign language.
You just hear like the bird cackling. The bird is just laughing so hard as you leave.
I like that your instinct is to vogue.
Yeah.
It was before my hands went. I realized that like with the camera in my face, all of these motions kind of go pointless.
Away.
So,
yeah.
So I was trying to keep here, and that's about the only thing you can do with a face, I guess.
Yeah. What was the number for the Chaos Gremlin?
38.
38. Thank you.
I'm just really glad that number went through after I purchased things.
And while Corey is pulling that up, I will gift to each individual what I think would be best suited for them. For Kaneen, she hands over the 6-sided die and will explain to him exactly what it does, or what she thinks it does. To Nevi, because for some fucking reason that she can't even explain herself, Nevi has always an endless amount of biscuits. She gives her the jug that will give her an endless amount of liquids. And to Dr. Ray, she's like, I think these do something. And gives you the black balls, the 7 of them.
Oh, hell yeah. Thanks, Lilith. I'm gonna make a stink bomb out of these.
Gonna summon a dragon.
There might
Yeah.
be, it might be able to do something else, but yeah, I don't throw them at me at least. They might be just pop rocks, who knows, but
That's
or
fine
the snap
too. Then I
things that
could.
you have to just throw on the ground that has like a little bit whatever. And of course, I will hold on to the amulet for myself.
Immediately, Dr. Ray, smoke bomb.
I am hesitant to attune to it at the moment because I don't know exactly what it does, but we'll get there eventually.
So as this goes down, Nevi, all of a sudden your head is real itchy, and Kaneen, out of the corner of your eye, do you see that little imp on Nevi's head?
I swing. Immediately, I swing.
Oh, my word.
At imp, not her head, for the record.
Okay,
I
making
swing
it.
like
How
it
good
can't be
is
like,
your aim?
Do any of us see this?
I swing a
Or do we just
heavy
see
maul on a
Kaneen
regular
swinging
basis
at
and hit
Nevi's
what I'm
head?
aiming for. I mean, I'm not throwing
I'm
something.
uncomfortable.
A strength-based attack,
I'm in
Kaneen's
danger.
great at. If you was trying to throw something at it, yeah, you might catch something in the ear. Who knows?
Make a unarmed attack.
Dun, 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 dun.
Tell you what, if you break my stick, we're gonna have issues.
Mm.
Or
I'll
my
carry it
head.
back and be like, I'm so sorry.
I'm
there it is.
glad that your concern was more over your stick and not your head.
I just got the stick. I've had my head a while.
That's old. Stick is new.
I mean,
It's not
it is
that
valid.
old. Come on, don't be rude.
Up to 19.
19. So you swing and you feel it connect for just the briefest moment before it poofs away. Go ahead and roll damage.
I feel like we're going to go on a side
It's
quest
just
to
5, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
I forgot that unarmed. Yeah, I forgot unarmed is
Yeah.
just.
It's just your strength
Yeah,
modifier. Okay, so you feel it connect just a moment, and you swear you hit the fucker. But then it disappears, and as you go to pull your fist back, it gets stuck in golden, glittery antlers that have sprouted from Nevi's head. Of whatever style of antlers you would like, Nevi. But you now have golden, glittering antlers that
Moose.
Kaneen's arm is currently stuck in.
But they're glittering, right?
Yeah,
Like, really pretty.
yeah.
This is very
They-
apt to keep them.
They are going to be so intricate, and I am going to hang jewels from them.
Excellent.
In other words, Mr. Producer, we now have to change 2 character art because we now have hair and antlers, and you have no one to blame
I would say-
but you.
I would feel
This is
bad,
true.
but
It's your fault.
that probably means like, oh, that's actually inconvenient because that's going to be like Intric is going to be like elk antlers, and that means Kaneen's arm
No,
is not stuck in
Let's.
like crazy antlers.
I'm thinking more intricate, like, kind of crown,
Twirly.
like, just kind of pretty. So they'll be there, but it's more like a crown. It's not like, I'm trying to get through doorways.
Good choice.
Thanks.
I don't know why I
Kaneen,
have like antlers that
what
have been.
have you done?
Kaneen will kind of get his hand up, like, no. It was the little red little imp thing guy.
I mean,
hit
there's
at the
something
time.
on my head,
Yeah, it
What
was
did
the
you
imp
do?
guy, and now there's horns.
and now there's horns.
Yes, imp guy.
These horns.
I hit him. I swear I hit him this time.
They're in my head.
He's gonna kind of like get close and kind of like pull your hair back. Are they like in her head?
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Yes, but okay.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, aren't you one with nature, druid?
Oh yeah,
right?
Lilith
Yeah,
is
it's-
laughing at this.
I
feel like it's
am
kinda what
not
you
that one
go
with
for,
nature.
You
I
kind of look it
mean-
now.
Yeah, now you have horns. I don't see the problem with this. People pay for this kind of cosmetic surgery. Also, it suits you. It really brings out your high cheekbones.
Preshow will love it.
Lilith, I have horns and I will shank you with them now.
Stop being so horny.
Ah!
Lilith, unacceptable.
So, are these the kind of horns that,
I'm
like,
not the one wearing the bling bling horns.
will Nevi molt every year and have to have them grow back? Like a real deer?
No, they're just there.
Okay.
Oh dear. As if I have to rub up against a tree to get the fur off of my... Oh god, I have horns.
He'll take care of it for you. It's fine.
What?
And he's gonna get like a little stick, and he'll just, he'll get rid of the felt for you, the little velvet. He'll take care of it. Don't you worry. That's what friends are for. Stripping your
Navi
flesh.
gives him the
No, they're
meanest
not
look she
organic
can.
enough.
So they're like legit golden little crown of antlers.
Yeah, they seem like they're some sort of strange in between of an organic material and like an actual like metal. So they're almost like they're gilded, but there's like a core of organic material there.
Oh, what is that term used again where they put stones on things?
Bedazzling?
Bedazzle?
If you bedazzle my head, Lilith,
He could bedazzle your head.
I mean, that's a different party altogether. Well, I see
Well,
how this day is going.
We talked
And Nevi
about
is going to
this.
toss her hair, and you're
Yeah,
going to
but-
see little glints of glitter coming off her shiny new kit. She's going to walk into the sunshine.
Nevi, I don't see why you're upset about this. It's perfect for you. Here, does anybody have a mirror?
I don't.
I don't either. Would I have a mirror in my, like, entertainer's kit?
Low or high?
Low.
Say low or
Yes.
Great. I run up to Nevi and hand her, like, the mirror, and I'm like, look at this. Look at how beautiful you are. Keep it. Be happy.
It's quite good, honestly.
Oh,
Oh, you cut out.
Did not hear that.
Antlers in my head.
And it's the same dude who did the hair stuff. The little red guy.
The hair
They
looks so
suit you.
good on you.
And the antlers look pretty good.
You're a druid. I feel like this
worst
is
case scenario,
necessary.
in a pinch, you could knock them off and probably sell them.
Or you could, like,
Rather-
headbutt people.
I do that when I don't have antlers.
ooh, does anybody
pretty
have a
good.
saw?
No! No?
We can make money. You
Well,
just
You're
It's
not
like-
sawing things out of my head.
They'll
We've
go
had
back.
conversations like this before. Mm-mm.
Have you? Oh, wow. Rich people talk
Lilith,
about weird
you're-
things.
We were children, and it was a what would you do? These conversations happen.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Would you rather have a third arm growing out of the middle of your chest or a back full of nipples? I get it. We've all had these conversations.
A third arm, that's another weapon.
I agree.
That's a booby trap.
Hmm.
All right. Well, Nevi is going to start calming down. She's going to look up at Kaneen and be like, you better polish these when they get fingerprints on them.
Hi.
I don't really polish things, but I also don't
You're
know why
going
this is my
to.
fault. I tried to defend you.
You swung at my head.
If I was swinging at your head, you would be there, and he's going to point to the ground behind you.
That is the compelling point.
I mean,
That's fair.
I haven't missed a whole lot of things since we've been hanging out as a group. I don't miss often when I swing.
You have valid points.
Do I have any like imp blood on my hand by chance?
Nope.
Damn.
Didn't hit him hard enough to draw blood.
I can only hit for 5.
I
my God.
know.
This imp has more HP than a villager.
Yes.
That explains a lot.
oh, I have a feeling this might end up becoming a new side quest.
First kill the moon, second kill the imp.
The world's coming to the end. Fuck that. We have to go after the imp.
It's like, well, here's the big bad. I'm like, that's not
This
the
is
imp. Well,
Final
that's-
Fantasy rules here, folks.
I'm pretty sure if I go to the moon, the imp will be on the moon, and I can get them both in one fell swoop.
They're both red.
Plot twist: the imp is the physical incarnation of the moon.
You got me. The imp is the avatar of Rudis.
Mean is about to go on a conquest. I'd like to swap my character to a paladin vengeance.
Well, you gotta, we can side quest this paladin thing. We're already on the way there with his
Barbaladin.
You've already sworn an oath, technically.
We're talking about the moon threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Yeah.
If you're going with vengeance, you've already sworn an oath.
Great, multi-class.
Nevi is going to bend down towards Lilith.
Yeah.
Does it
Careful,
look
you might poke my eye out.
really jerk? Does
Wasn't
it look
Lilith?
bad, Lilith? Is it really bad?
It's totally you, sweetie.
Doesn't really answer the question. Can you
I wish you wouldn't giggle when you said that.
Lilith is being such a little shit today.
Just today?
Look, Lilith had that little
I
bit of
just
empathy in the
gifted all
library.
of you
And
with-
so, yeah, she had a little bit of empathy. She bought gifts. Now she's like, well, okay, that covers me for the next week, so I'm just gonna go way downhill.
Full dick mode.
You can't expect her to
All
go
right.
good all at once. Come on, folks.
The other half of her
That is
fighting
a
back.
step too far.
I can take the jug
All
back.
right. So we're going to Mystic Pursuits now.
Sounds like a board game. Oh, Trivial Pursuit, that's why.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
love Trivial Pursuit.
Same.
So you all head over to Mystic Pursuits, and you see again the colorful tapestries framing the entrance to the establishment, and just beyond the threshold, silk curtains cover the walls and drape down. You see magical-looking baubles covering all sorts of low wooden tables surrounded by multicolored scented candles. That's so mean. That is so mean, Micah.
Please share that on our D&D channel.
Yeah, please put that in the channel Discord. Thank you. It is so mean. How dare.
I was pretty sure I knew where it was. I just had to type in the right thing.
That is...
But in the very back, kind of almost shrouded by the silks, you see a woman draped in a deep blue robe with a hood pulled down, covering her eyes, and a deck of cards spread out before her in the back of the room. Oh, you've arrived.
We'll
Just
just...
gonna lean down and be like, they all say that.
Hello? How are you?
I'm as well as you find me.
One of these.
So if you know that I've been coming, then you know what I'm here for.
Of course. Sit.
We'll take a seat.
Okay. As you sit, she kind of gathers the cards in front of her, and with a powder next to her, she sprinkles it over the deck and rubs it in, and then hands it over to Lilith. Shuffle and cut the deck.
She'll shuffle it. She'll cut it into 3 parts and then reassemble it.
Okay. And she takes it and she lays it out in a pretty intricate formation. Now, think on your question. Pick a card.
Lilith will take longer than what you guys are normally used to. And she'll reach down and grab a card and push it towards her.
Okay. As she pushes it towards her, she flips it over, and on it you can see an intricate display of a forested background, but the colors of the forest are bright, different, off. And in it you can see a what looks like a fairy like creature staring into a pool. Interesting. Second card.
Very far left, last one, pushes forward.
Okay. As she pulls that one and flips it over and reveals it, it is both of the moons, both Katha and Ruidus, reflected in a pool as well, but in that reflection of the pool, Katha is like mostly obscured, whereas Ruidus is flaring.
Okay.
Last card.
Second to last card on the right pushes forward.
As she flips this one, you see it is a very simple drawing of a person, whereas the other ones have been very intricate and detailed. This one's simple, and almost immediately you kind of recognize it in an eerie way as the face kind of shifts. And Lilith, you see the face of your sister, your eldest sister, in the portrait, but it is the Hanged Man. What a combination. You've been elsewhere and were forced into your current situation, and looking through the realms in the Looking Glass have a deep longing to be somewhere that you belong once again. Your present is turbulent and shaded in darkness and perhaps cursed by something you've heard long ago. And your future is violent, but in doing so will lead to a rebirth of your life.
Well, it's already been violent. I've been down and up so many goddamn times I don't. Anyways, tell me. And she leans in towards her. Does the phrase, "the time is soon," ring a bell to you?
She takes a moment, and then she reaches to the side and pulls out a container that has like a small sprinkling of sand in it, and then a crystal that she, like several crystals that she puts in her hands, and she shakes and then casts into the sand. It is ominous, that is for certain. You don't need me to tell you that. But it seems related to that turbulent future. A calling, if you will.
Right. Most appreciative for your time and, of course, your services. How much?
5 gold.
Of course. She'll slip her the 5 gold.
As you do so, she also passes you in the same moment a crystal gem. And as you look at it, it is a bloodstone.
Okay, bloodstone to keep. Great. Lilith will stand from the table, curtsy, turns back to the rest. I am done here, unless any of you wish to have your fortunes read.
No, I'm good.
We've got like a question. Can I just like ask you a question? Does that work that way, or do I have to do the card thingy?
It depends on the question. Come sit.
Okay, he's gonna kind of sit, and then he's gonna kind of lean forward and like whisper in her ear, the question, and then he's gonna kind of sit back down and just kind of stare at her for a second.
She kind of takes a moment and thinks, and then she reaches back off to the sides and the silks and the sides, and brings out a series of bones in a jar, and she hands them to you, and she goes, "Shake, cast them on the table."
He's gonna look really weird and shake him for a second, just don't. And dump him out and shake and kind of like tap it like a ketchup bottle.
Okay. You do it as they fall on the table. She like looks at it for a moment and her brow furrows. You have a connection to something deeper and greater than yourself that causes many concern and trouble.
Going to sit quiet for a minute. I just kind of look down at the bones. Look. Okay. I'm just gonna take a gold piece out, put it on the table, and just kind of like push the table away from him. I guess into her a little bit. He's just gonna walk in and be like, well, it's time to drink. See you guys there.
Janine, you're having. Dr. Ray follows him, mostly out of concern.
Neffy's going to look back at them and then look over at the lady and look back at them and do you think you could look at me?
Of course. Sit. Come.
Neffy's going to sit down a little nervously and I think there might be darkness in me. And I need to know more about it.
The incense kind of burning next to her, she takes some of the ash that's fallen in it, and she reaches for your hand.
Neffy's going to nervously put her hand out.
She draws a small sigil on your hand before handing you the deck of cards. Shuffle and cut.
Neffy's going to give a good shuffle, make a few cuts, look at the cards, shuffle them again, and then hand them over.
She goes ahead and she lays them out on the table. Not the same intricate pattern that she did with Lilith, but still very, very intricate in the layout of it, using almost the entirety of the table. First card.
Nevi is going to push the middle card right over to her and just kind of leave her hand on it for a moment, make eye contact, and then pull her hand back.
She touches your fingers momentarily before turning the card over. And on it, you can see a cut kind of landscape. One is flourishing and green on one side, and the other is burnt, destroyed red sky on the other side of it.
Nevi's breath is going to catch for a moment.
Recognize. Second card.
She's going to grab the one third from the right, the furthest right.
Okay. She goes ahead and she flips that card. And this particular card shows almost twins on either side of the card. And one is clutching a dagger to her chest. And then the other one is clutching a tree branch, like a yew branch.
Right. And Nevi is going to put her hand, second one from the farthest left. She's just going to leave her hand there for a moment. Her hand is going to shake a little bit. She's going to push the card forward.
As she goes to flip the card, for the briefest moment, you see that red-skinned, horned figure you had seen in the past. And then in a flash of blue fire, the card burns up and is gone. She kind of jumps for a moment and then resettles herself. There is something very wrong at work here.
In me? Am I the wrong thing?
Searching, it's looking. There's a seed, a kernel. But unless it finds it and can make it grow, it'll stay hidden. It's two forces, one of life, one of death. This life is stronger, but the seed, that kernel, has a will, and it cannot be ignored.
Is it me? Am I death? Will I bring death to my loved ones?
I don't have all of the answers. It's hiding deep within.
Nevi's gonna lean in. How do I find the answers?
This is a thing for gods and other realms. The temples?
Nevi's, her eyes are going to well up with tears, and she's going to stand up. She's going to stare at the cards. And she dashes the tears away, and she slaps the cards off the table, and she turns and walks out.
She doesn't even try to stop you. She seems pretty shaken herself.
Nevi just walks out and ignores everybody and just needs to be outside. Needs to breathe.
We'll reconvene outside. What's the plan?
Well, I think that we each had a little bit more than what we were expecting, weren't we?
I'm fine. I don't fuck with soothsayers. This is why you don't fuck with soothsayers. I'm having a great day.
You can't always run away from your future.
I just like take out the amulet and just like do this and then put it back in my shirt.
You don't say.
Janine said we were going to go drink. I think that's
Absolutely, we
a
are.
wonderful idea.
And he's going to kind of put his, I guess, hand on like Nevi's shoulder or head. I mean, how tall is Nevi again?
She's about 5'10".
So yeah, kind of on her head. Kind of like, I guess, pat the horns a bit and be like, these guys that kind of walk is like, let's go get smashed. And he's gonna pat his, like, they do look good on you, for the record.
Thank you. I think they're growing on me.
Womp womp womp.
It's Nevi's attempted humor, and she's going to be very grateful for Kaneen just like, okay, let's just go. And so she's going to walk with him straight towards the tavern.
Okay. Are you guys going to the casino here? Are you going to a different tavern? There was 2 casinos here. There was a tavern and casino and then just a regular casino. Or there were a couple of different taverns that Question had mentioned in other districts.
Kaneen, do you want to gamble?
I mean, I'm not opposed, I guess. Sure, let's throw some money away.
Then golden chips it is. Let's go.
Okay. You all head over to the Golden Chip, which is a not as nice as the other casino here, but it does have lodgings attached to it. So there's that. It's like a kind of a sprawling single story, made of what looks like different patchwork, like wood on the outside, and then draped in other like material, kind of filling it in. It's not amazing, but you know it works, and there's a lot of people going inside and out. And throughout it, you can see there's a lot of different games, but kind of the 3 most popular games there is a dice game called Avandra's Favor, a card game called Gambit of Ord, and then a racing game where you race lizards called Quan Adressel.
Oh, I'm gonna go play Avandra's Who'sy What's It, because I have the amulet.
Okay. So, the game has a 15 gold minimum entry fee.
Great.
Holy cow.
It's fine.
I am
I
just
have
here to enjoy
Dr.
and
Healer.
watch.
I have Dr. Healer's inspiration. And also I have this lucky necklace. I'll be fine.
You also just gave kobolds like half of your gold.
That's true.
Yes. But what is money?
It's meant to be spent.
That's
Yeah.
So,
I'm never gonna retire.
the way it works is you roll 2d6, and if you get a 7 or a 12, you win back twice your bet. So 15 is the minimum bet. You can, do upwards of whatever onto that, but you get back twice your bet if you get a 7 or a 12. If you roll the 2d6 and you don't win, you can wager another at least 15 gold to roll another d6. And you can do this as many times as you want until you bust by accumulating over 12 points, or you give up.
Okay. Can I use my inspiration on this to cheat?
Sure.
Great. So how is that going to work if I have to use the inspiration? Do I roll both again, or do I roll it one?
Yeah, roll the 2d6 twice and take whichever is the better number.
Oh, you said if we roll a 7?
Yeah, so you roll 2d6, and if you roll a 7 on the 2d6, then that is a win.
Using my inspiration, I re-rolled, and I got a 7.
Nice.
Yay.
So did you bet the minimum for that? I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah,
'Cause you had
yeah.
said it before. Okay. So then you make twice that, which 15 times 2 was what, 30?
Yes.
So
Great.
you get 30 gold back.
I'm going to
You can keep
quit
playing.
while I'm ahead. I know, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. I used the inspiration.
You did get
Great.
15 gold out of it, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, that's like several people's salaries combined.
That's a lot of money for a lot of people. Like, most people live off of a few silver a year.
Yeah. So, which also makes the price of that soothsayer, by the way, outrageous.
No one said it was cheap. They
Yeah,
just said that's where you
seriously.
can find one.
All right, I'm good. I've done my gambling.
Great. Anyone else want to gamble? There's a dice game, card game, or a lizard racing contest.
And he's actually going to go to the bar and put a gold in and be like, hey, I need alcohol this strong.
Sure, can do. So there's a kind of deep, like pinkish red skinned tiefling behind the bar, with hair that's like a blue black inky color, and like golden eyes. And she goes ahead and she like looks through the cabinet and she's like, "What's your price range?"
I need 2 under this.
What is this?
The gold. He put a gold down on the
Oh,
counter.
1 gold. Okay.
2 that will fit under this umbrella, which he assumes is
Okay.
most things in the bar.
Yeah.
Granted, if
She
he
goes,
saw the 15 gold minimum for the game, he might think maybe that won't cover as much as he thought. But
no, she goes ahead and she reaches like kind of like the middle shelf, and grabs a couple of liquors and then pours them in. She's like, "Fancy drink, shots,
whatever you feel
fancy
like.
drink," and she starts mixing them and shaking them with some juice that she pours out, and then dumps them into both cups. It's kind of a looking at it, a like light bluish in color drink. From what you could see of her putting in it, it was a couple of clear liquids. You weren't certain what they were. It smells pretty strong though, and a little bit minty.
Nice. He's gonna put one in front of Nevi, put one in front of himself, and then down his.
Okay. The drink itself is minty, but it's also has like an exotic, almost like star fruit like flavor to it. It's an interesting combination. The mint hits you first before the star fruit, and then afterwards the kind of like coolness of the mint sits on your palate. And it's got, in the liquor area, it has kind of like a gin vodka vibe to it.
It's got
Oh,
star
nice.
fruit in it, which means they're going to be friends forever.
Palu fruit. No, that was the other game for the Chaos Gremlin.
Oh my bad.
That didn't make you friends forever. It made you tied to each other, good or bad.
Womp womp.
He's gonna be like,
Which I thought
"That's
was
great."
real clever.
He's gonna put another gold down and be like, I'll just take an ale now.
Like just one? That's a lot for one.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Just take it if you're gonna take it.
Keep your
Nevi's-
tab open.
Sure.
Nevi is going to look at Kanine, look at the bartender, shoot hers as well,
Uh-huh.
and just
She's
hold
on
up a
mine.
finger too.
She goes ahead and she pulls 2 ales out of the cask and hands it over. She's like, big spenders. Hit it big at a table?
No, about to. Kanine's gonna go to the lizards.
About to. She sees you walk towards the lizards. Not gonna.
I was really tempted to like take 10 minutes and cast speak with him. The bar. But I have another plan.
Okay, so the minimal entry for this one, it does have a lower entry fee than playing the dice game. The entry fee for this is 5 gold at least that you have to bet on one racer. And so there's 3 in total. And then whoever backs the winner gets back double whatever you wagered. If you get second place, you get back half of whatever you wagered, rounded up.
How many lizards are there?
There's 3.
Cool. What colors are they?
So one
Only
is
characteristic ID'd. There's
great.
clearly a master color when it comes to lizards.
Clearly. So one is like a green, like green on the sides, and it's got like a yellow crest across the top. Another one has like, you're not certain if they enchanted this one or what, but it has like a pinkish purple kind of coloration to it throughout, almost in like swaths and patches, almost like they like tie-dyed the lizard. And then the last lizard has like a brownish tint throughout, but then it seems to have like a kind of design that has been dyed into its scales on the side, where it looks like flames.
That's the one. Flames make it go faster. I don't make the rules. So that or the one that had the racing stripe on it. Or crested, but racing stripe. Is that one, I assume, since it was third, is like on the side?
Sure.
Okay. This is like a straight track or a loop track?
It's a straight track.
Cool. Kanine's gonna go to the finish line. He's gonna be like, 20 on the one with flames.
Okay, great. You put 20 down on the one with flames.
And before they, as they say go, Kanine would like to stare down the other 2 and try to intimidate them with his eye.
Good.
Lizards.
Roll
Good.
intimidation.
Do I have intimidation? I do have intimidation.
This is the greatest gambling
That
ever.
is a 19 for intimidation.
Ooh, pretty intimidating Goliath, the lizards.
He's not going to say anything. He's just going to like make really big eyes at these 2 lizards.
Uh-huh.
In my mind, this was going to work. And now that it's in practice, I don't know how well this is going to work. But could have done the beast thing and just try to intimidate him that way.
It's fine. So they take off, and at first, the racing stripe lizard that you were going to bet on, like, way outruns the rest of them, and it seems to have a really good lead on it. And you're getting pissed, and you kind of like give it more of the evil eye, and it seems to catch like what you're laying down, and it kind of like stops for a moment, and as it stops, the flame lizard just gains on it immeasurably and passes it, and then they're neck and neck for a little bit, and then just by a tail, the flame lizard crosses the finish line first.
Incredible.
Head first.
So I couldn't interrupt at the time, but
Yeah, it was a joke. It's fine.
You have been given a GM disadvantage
Oh, okay.
by Smiley
Great.
T.
Thanks, Dad. Helping with gambling.
Also kind of stacked the deck.
Got you guys. So you get back double what you wagered. You wagered 20, so you get 40 back.
Dope. You can just be like, yeah, I'm good. And then just keep pounding back ales.
Is anyone else gambling?
What were the other games? You had the lizards, the dice,
And cards.
and cards.
Mm-hmm.
Meh. I'm good.
Okay.
I think I'll if
Is
Nevi's
Lilith
still at
only a one-armed bandit queen?
If Nevi is still at the bar, Lilith will join her at the bar.
Okay.
And
Nevi's there, drink in hand.
Nevi, darling, and she taps the jug that she gave her. If I recall right, you shouldn't need to be purchasing drinks anymore. You can just want some wine or beer, whatever choice you want, and that will fill with it.
Oh,
Give it a try.
that will be helpful. So Nevi looks at it and thinks for a moment. And it fills up with beautiful red wine.
Hopefully.
Lilith. Yeah. Lilith should hopefully recognize the scent of it as her family's finest, not special vintage.
The vanilla wine, as it were.
So yeah, it fills with wine of your like and tasting that you described, and it fills up with a gallon of it. It's the max it can produce of that, but fills up with a gallon.
Just a
of it.
gallon of wine, that's all.
You know, like a full handle of fucking wine. That's what I drink a day. I don't know about you.
Whenever we do our Sunday stream.
Yeah.
So Nevi's gonna look around for a bendy straw or a twisty straw, something to just shove in there.
The bartender, being ever helpful, brings over like a interesting like crazy straw. They were promotional like 3 weeks back for some fruity drink and a coconut. Here you go.
And you guys have seen me drink wine like this, so you're not gonna be shocked.
And Lilith will just look around. She'll just look over to Nevi. She's like, I know it's a bit to bite off and chew, but you know that you have me here. She looks over towards Dr. Nell Reyes and our good friend Kanine off in the distance, and she's like, and we have our newfound friends as well. You're not alone in this, you know.
Lilith. Nevi is going to take a long sip through the crazy straw, and you just see the wine twisting as she's sipping. Lilith, I think I'm dangerous. And
Girl, so dangerous. Sorry, continue.
I'm so bad. Lilith, I there are things that I don't understand, and I worry about you. You have enough to deal with your family, and now they're branching out. They're further than they've been before.
It is
I don't
concerning.
know that you shouldn't have to worry about bad things from two different sides.
Lilith laughs at that. She's like, Nevi, you have stood by my side. You, of anybody, were the only one that looked over me and watched over me. Do you think for 1 second that I'm going to stand by and let you face this on your own? Please. If there's anything, you are not dangerous, but you are selfish. To think that you are going to do this on your own, to think that you're the only one to face problems. Yes, you are aware of my family, but look at our friends over there. Do you think they have not their own troubles that they're facing? Dangers that are pursuing them? Our good friend over there is a kleptomaniac, and sooner or later it's going to bite him in the ass.
Yeah, but
But nothing.
I've seen his
Shut
I've
up.
seen his ass while he's sleeping, and it's
Sorry,
very
what?
firm. And I don't think that something biting his ass is going to make much of a difference.
Oh,
It's
it's
just
true.
going to break its
Oh, you stared at
teeth.
the
Maybe-
spell while he's asleep thing.
That
but-
happened. That happened once at the orphanarium, actually. One of the younger kids tried to bite his butt and his tooth came out in it like an apple.
Dr. Nelrias randomly appears and says, and then
Yeah.
disappears back into the crowd.
Just, like, walks away.
I can remember where his is at. He's gonna be
No,
like,
you
also
just
like
see Dr.
experiment his
Norez
butt in his
walking
sleep.
by
Like,
saying this, not even breaking stride, and just continues
Yeah.
past.
Yeah.
Double fisting ale.
Yeah.
Nevi, you need to learn to shut up sometimes. Just
And
because
when Lilith-
you are struggling doesn't mean you shelter down, hunker down, and not accept help.
As Lilith is talking, you're going to see just a little glimmer, just kind of a purplish glimmer off to Nevi's shoulder. And then it just kind of away.
Have I seen that before in the past with you and I?
Might have.
Take note of that. But
Lilith, all I'm saying is if I change, I need you to deal with me. Very
Well,
firmly.
you've
In
done
any
it
way
twice
necessary.
now. And we dealt with it, and we will continue to deal with it.
Well, according to our Sufi friend, it could get worse.
Then we'll face it when it comes.
I'm just saying, be brave and be willing to put it down if you need to.
Oh, Nevi. Trust me, I've always wanted to smack the shit out of you.
I know. It's part
And
of our
it's-
friendship.
I know. It's a love-hate relationship. And they kind of laugh, and Lilith will look back to the bartender who's probably listening to this like, what the fuck? Be like, wine please?
She's just cleaning glasses. Like, oh, fine. Yeah. And she goes ahead and she's like, house wine, fine wine.
Do you have a good port? Do you know what a port is?
Let me see. And wow, what a condescending thing. Do you know what port is? Wow.
Nope,
She
you're right.
says,
I don't. Suddenly we're out. Craziest thing.
suddenly we're out of all the wine and all we have is piss.
I know of a good shit
Maybe
wine
she-
that's coming in stock.
Maybe she could just get another bendy straw.
Look,
so she
you're
goes,
going to have your moments again with Lilith being sincere and empathetic and all that stuff, and then she's going to snap down to the condescending.
yeah, it just blindsided me, that particular one. I was like, whoa, okay.
Welcome back, Boo Boo. Welcome back.
This lady has done nothing to you except be helpful. So she goes out and she looks like through kind of their like better stock bottles. And she comes back with, you're familiar with it. It's a pretty good port. It's not like amazing, but it's pretty good.
I would be glad to have a glass of that, please.
She goes ahead and she pours a glass.
How much?
I have to look up prices of things. Meh.
Yeah, this entire time we've been making it easy, and you're like, one gold, one gold, one gold.
Yeah, you guys have just been like throwing out money, and I'm like, that's not what that costs, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head, so meh.
Nevi's not even checking. She's just assuming it's covered. So.
Sounds about right with you.
So she's going to ask for a gold for the glass of wine.
8 gold? Okay.
Yeah, 1 gold.
Done and done.
Because it's not quite fine quality, so.
Have we figured out kind of the lay of the city? Or have we just seen kind of that big cluster of humanity in the middle of it?
I mean, you have a map.
Okay. Are there any garden-y type areas that are close? So,
Not really close. There's like a kind of like green spaces in the Sigil district back where you all were, but the River district is almost entirely a garden. You physically have the map. It's in the chat.
yeah, I'm looking at it right now and I'm trying to figure out. So we're in the Suncut Bazaar right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we're kind of a hike from everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Sigil district where you started is the kind of most central out of all of them, of like the kind of common districts. The upper crust districts are a little bit more central, but
Alrighty. Just wondering if there's any green space or anything Nevi can go dig her toes into.
not necessarily here, but if you wanted to go stay elsewhere instead, you could. Easy enough.
I'll wait. I'll be patient.
Okay.
And I shall continue drinking.
The harried mongoose that you guys were interested in is in the River District. If you guys would rather take up lodgings there instead of the casino.
Beer crawl.
Well, because I think you guys were trying to figure out where you wanted to stay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
At this point, Nevi is just happily drinking and thinking that maybe she should get some bread and cheese.
Ooh, bread and cheese sounds good.
Okay, well, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap here. Then you guys can make a decision next time because we're past time. But I thought you were going to make a decision and then didn't, so I let it go. But here we are. Surprise, surprise. The party didn't do what I thought they would. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We will be dark next week for Drunken Dragons as we have a couple of players out due to work and life things. So that means next week we will be dark, but then the last week of March we will be live. So we're just swapping our dark day and moving it around. But we will still be here on Sunday. I will be here this Sunday with Spiritfarer, and then the next Sunday Steven and I will be back with Horizon Zero Dawn and me criticizing the shit out of him. Because otherwise Steven thinks that he'll never finish this game unless we just start doing it almost every Sunday. Because he's like, it's so long.
It's a massive game.
It is massive. But that's
So
fine.
huge.
I'm here for you. And to do no work and just drink.
That's the huge thing that you like is I don't have to play a game and I
And
just get to
eat.
sit here
It's
and
fine.
drink and eat.
Yeah, it's great. It's the best job for me. I love it. But again, thank you. Sorry we ran over, but we do appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And as always, stay classy.
See you guys
Bye.
later.